Okay. Good morning. I'm Steve Thompson. I'm president of Emery Thompson Machine, and we call this Make It Fresh. Thank you all for coming. We're going to try to show you some techniques and some delicious ice creams and ices to try. I'm going to specialize today in ices because it's still summertime, August, and Jeff's going to do ice cream. A couple of ground rules before we start. I'm a fire department background, so there's a fire door there, and here, so you can get out easily. Don't let Sammy, Samantha, Jane Thompson, the golden retriever, go with you because she'll follow anybody anywhere. The thing that drives this course is questions. Please ask questions. Jeff and I always laugh that sometimes the audience asks no questions, and then we take a break and everybody rushes up and has a question, or after the class, they're all going, oh, I just have a question for you. So everybody else wants to hear your question too. It's pertinent to what we're doing. So what we'll do is if you have a question, just raise your hand, and if I'm in the middle of talking and I actually never stop, I'll just let you know that I saw you, and we'll get to your question within a couple of seconds. We don't want to wait until we move on to a different subject because we want to get it while it's pertinent. So please, all the questions, there are no ridiculous questions or silly questions. Everybody's here to learn for the first time.
There are plenty of silly questions.
Okay.
But that's what we're here for.
Come on in.
To give silly answers.
Yes, we'll give silly answers. So you all know Jeff Markow, Tie-Dye Jeff from Mystic Ice Cream in Fruit Loops, Florida. Fruitland.
Fruitland Park.
Fruitland Park.
It's an hour from here.
How did she get in?
The door's open.
Oh, well, they say it was supposed to be gated. So I'm hoping someone will come in for a second and get her. Hey, folks, Sammy's here. Look at them run. Okay. Oh. So we'll just wait while
this
Samantha
is totally
changes.
Unrehearsed. We don't.
Oh, the whole thing's totally unrehearsed. We have no script. Thank you. So the first thing I'm going to do today is I started up, or I'm in the process of starting up a new business. This is how dedicated I am to Italian ices and how much money I have made for people making Italian ices. Very secretive business. If you ask anybody about their formulas, they'll always tell you the same old lie. The recipes came from their great-great-grandfather from Genoa, Italy, instead of some guy from the Bronx who's never been to Genoa, Italy. And but it is such a great product that I am in the process of starting up another corporation. It's all incorporated, it's trademarked. And of course, my name's Steve Thompson, so the business is going to be Stefano's Brooklyn Italian Ice. Ice is the way you remember it. And I am now Stefano Thompsini. So I'm sure I'll get attacked by some group, this or there, for gender, whatever they call it. But I am so convinced that Italian ices are a fantastic way to make money that I'm doing it myself for my own relatives because there is a need in South Florida for it. If you want to buy ices in Florida today, you either buy one of my machines or you have to import it down from something like Via Veneto in central Pennsylvania, Rosati in Philadelphia, or Little Jimmy in New Jersey. And they're good ices. We're going to make today great ices, all natural. And their ices are very expensive because they have to be shipped down from New Jersey.
Chrissy,
and it has to be a minimum order of $1,000, which is enough ice to fill from where I'm standing to the back wall. So you'd have to go out and rent space. So that's what I'm going to do. And so I'm going to share those formulas with you. And for you, it's a starting point. We all have different tastes. You might say, well, I would like to use more lemon, or I'd like to use less something else. You will adjust it to your own personal taste. So within no time at all, you'll have your own secret recipes. So you've got my first one for the orange juice, for the Italian ice. And it's very simple. I like to buy a product like this. This is fresh orange juice, 100% pure orange juice. And this one's got pulp in it, which I like to add to the ice cream. Oranges are great, but like all fruit, you're going to find out it's seasonal. And if my Italian ice season up in New York, where it gets cold, is May 1st to Columbus Day, and oranges are at their peak in February, it's going to be hard to get, really good oranges. So something like a product like this has already been picked during the orange season, from November to about April. And they blend it together so that no matter when you pick this product up, it'll always taste the same, because it's got the not-so-sweet oranges of November, the outrageously sweet ones from February, and the very good ones from March and April. And it's all blended together so that you have a good product. Chris, do you want to close that door when you get a chance? So she's going to keep barking. She just wants attention. So you can see from the recipe, it's pretty simple. It's orange juice, sugar, and that's the main ingredients. I'm going to add a little bit of a lemon just to give it a little bit of tartness, just a touch of tartness. But that's going to be it. It's real simple. So I'm going to use the CB350. Let me pull this out. This machine over the past 15 years has become our flagship. It used to be the 24. Now it's this. This is a machine that is affordable. It can do everything the bigger machines can do, and it's going to make half a tub at a time. So let me just touch on that real quick. It's going to make 6 quarts, which is going to fill this 3-gallon tub up halfway. So in 14 minutes, we'll make half a tub of orange ice, and then I'll take it over to the chest freezer, the $500 Home Depot chest freezer or Sears chest freezer, and I'll throw it in the freezer. I'll load up another batch and put it in, and 14 minutes later, it's ready. Nothing has happened to this one over in the freezer. It's just sitting there, and so I'm going to put it here, and I'm going to take out the second batch. So now, every 30 minutes of ices, I have a full tub. So 2 tubs an hour, that's very good production for a company just starting out. When you get to the point of running this thing 18 hours a day, and you've never seen your family members in a month, and you don't even know what your bed looks like, you're going to call up and say, I need another machine. And my answer, surprisingly, because I'm a terrible salesman, is going to be, no, you don't need another machine. You actually need more storage freezers, because you've already filled them up and you have no place to put it. Now, if you want to solve your your problem of needing more production, this thing can run 24 hours a day. So I have come up with a plan that has worked very well. I have to backtrack and say that when I was younger and raising children, I thought, great, we're going to hire young mothers with children in elementary school to come in and work, say, 10 till 2 in the store making ice cream ices or whatever. It was great on paper until I factored in the reality of life that children get sick. And once one gets sick, they all get sick. And then when they all get sick, mom gets sick. So the rate of people being out because they had to take care of their children was very high. So I looked around and said, what's another group that always has a second job? No matter where you go in the United States, there's a group that always has a second job. That is policemen and firemen. They always are working a second job. We don't pay them enough to work. I also include in that group, and I've got to find the right term for it, but people, not someone who's 90 years old, but people who have recently rolled out of the military and are also looking for good quality work. These 3 groups, policemen, firemen, and military, don't look at it as a job the way a lot of people do. Oh, I got to go work at Emery Thompson from 7 in the morning till 3:30. I can't wait to get out of there and get back to my pool. They look at it as my job tonight. My mission is to make 25 of these tubs between midnight and 6 a.m. And so that's a great workforce. And who better to protect your garage, your spare room where you're making ices, or your store than someone of this caliber? You know they're going to lock it up right and turn off the lights and set the alarm. So you can go a long way with just this size machine. And then eventually we'll get you into the bigger ones, because nobody wants to stay with just one store. You're just going to keep growing. It's incredible. So let me stop talking for a minute. We'll get some product going in here. I'll pour these in. So this is 1.6, so 2 of these is approximately 3 quarts.
Yeah.
And then
No.
1.6 quarts.
Yeah. So how much you need total?
4. 1, 2, 3 are in here now. And most of this. Hi, welcome. Just grab, that's okay. There's 2 seats
Good.
like that. Okay. A little squeeze of lemon. Lemon brings out flavors, and lemons and oranges are in the same family. I'll just go with that for now. We'll try it. And this is,
That's it. Pound and a half.
oh, I'll take it up another, give me another half.
2 pounds?
Yeah.
Okay. I got it. Steve?
Yeah, you can change it up.
Oh, no, he's just kidding.
What I give out to the 171 countries that we sell to, and what we're making here is sometimes a little different. Now, the beauty of Italian ice is you can taste it before you freeze it and know exactly what you're going to get. So just to fill you in real quick, we're making orange Italian ice, and do we have extra of the?
The extras are right there.
Okay, let's get you the formula. There you go. Sugar, and orange juice. And how's that?
Excellent.
Does it need more orange juice or more sugar?
I'd throw the other oranges in there.
Okay. One thing about sugar is don't worry about it getting too sweet, because adding a little more sugar won't necessarily make it sweeter, but it will enhance the flavor. Sometimes you taste something, it's like, gee, I wish it had more of an orange flavor. Well, the solution is oftentimes another cup of sugar. That's all there is to it. Good to go?
I think so.
Okay. So that's all mixed up. I'm going to go over the machine, which we already sanitized. The last thing I did here was sanitize the machine, and I took the water out of here. And watch carefully, because this is the mistake you're going to make, and you'll curse me till you catch on. So the last thing I did was open the gate, take the water out, throw the water away, and now I'm ready to make product. Because I left the gate open. And so when I go pouring in the orange juice, it's going to go all over the floor, and you're going to look at the machine and say, look at that damn thing, it leaks. And it's not leaking, you left the gate open. So just, you may not think it's important, but you'll do it. And then you'll go, oh yeah, I remember him saying that. I found that if you rest the bucket on top of the lip, you're more inclined to spill. So I raise it up a little bit. And I always like to semi-chastise my audience by saying, I only have sight in one eye. So if I can do this without spilling, you can certainly do it. All right. Now there's a little tiny stream of sugar left in there. I just put in a lot of sugar. I'm not going to worry about that little tiny bit. It's not going to change the formula. It's not rocket science. It's not that critical. If it tastes good, it's going to be great. Now I go over to the infinite overrun control, which we've pre-programmed with different names to make it easy for you, and different speeds, which is what gives me the consistency I want. And this is my invention from about, 18 or 19 years ago, and we've been using it ever since, and it's very good. So I'm going to pick Italian ice and hit start, and it's going to go to the speed that I want for Italian ice. Now I'm going to turn on the refrigeration, and I'm going to set a clock. I'll set it for 13 minutes, and we'll take a look. Now, people always ask, why no clock on the machine? I mean, are you so cheap you can't put a clock on it? Actually, I don't want a timer on this machine. What all the other companies do is they have a timer that you set on the keypad, and we've got the best keypad going. You set the timer, and then at 10 minutes, the machine will shut off. And that's just what you don't want, because there are variations in making product. The higher the sugar content of a product, the longer it takes to freeze. So ice cream, you're going to see today, is down around 8 or 9 minutes, approximate, for vanilla. If Jeff makes strawberry ice cream, well, he's added extra sugar to the vanilla in the form of strawberries. Strawberries are sweet. So the time might go from 8 minutes up to 10 minutes. I don't want a timer that's always going to shut off at 8 minutes. Italian ice is no dairy and all sugar, so the freezing time is going to be longer. It's going to be about 14, 15 minutes. So we don't put the timer on for that reason. Also, this machine, unlike most of the other machines on the market, is built to the most stringent standards in the world. National Sanitation Foundation and Underwriters Laboratories. We pay tens of thousands of dollars a year to have these machines continually tested. They do spot checks in the factory without you knowing they're coming in. And they look through your books, they go out on the floor, they inspect even spools of cable to see if it's got Underwriter Laboratory codes on it, that it's not some foreign thing coming from China. And so we have those certifications on this machine. And in order for this $8 timer to go on that machine, the timer to meet those codes would be about $240. On the other machines, which I have very little competition except my own machines, when that timer breaks, because it probably will, when I break this, I throw it out and go buy a new one. When theirs breaks, it takes down the machine. Now you got to wait for the part to come from Italy via China. You've got to wait and pay a guy to come repair it. They're about $125 an hour. So you're looking at about $400 to get that timer changed. And here it's $8. And this is portable. I can stick it in my pocket and it's going to go off. And I don't rely on it. I didn't set it for exactly the time that the product's going to make. I set it for something a little shorter. Because instead of talking to you, I would be over here getting my cherry Italian ice ready. I'd be measuring out the sugar and the water. Timer goes off, bing, and I know, oh, time to go back and take a look. It's like when my wife Paula bakes, which is very rare. She has seen the kitchen occasionally. But when she bakes, she will put a cake into the oven and set the timer for 23 minutes. And when the timer goes off, she doesn't just pull that cake out. She goes over and sticks a fork in it and says, Steve, what does this mean? And then we determine that it is ready or it's not. And but she does, so she's using it only as an approximation. So that's important. Any questions so far? Deer in the headlights. Nobody. Yes, sir.
It's going to be the time is going to be the same as in the big machine?
Oh, will the time be the same in these machines? Yes, it will. Whether it's this one, this 12, the 24. We have a 12 in here because the 12 and 24 are identical machines, just deeper barrel. Yeah, they're all going to be the exact same time. Yes?
How many employees do you need to actually make continuous formulas a day?
How many employees do you need? You need one. But you're going to be exhausted.
In season, I make 300 gallons a week, and not in season, I make 120, and it's a piece of cake.
I'll get to your question, but I want to follow up on that. I say one employee. New people going into the business nowadays, when you get an old codger like Jeff, he's going to do everything. He's going to unlock the doors, he's going to mop the floors, he's going to make the ice cream. It's hard to get him to get away from doing everything because that's the way we grew up. Nowadays, there's a big rush to become an executive and have a bunch of people working for you. So you've got one person who's, chief executive officer. You've got a president, a vice president. This is all for a little ice cream parlor. You've got a senior tasting expert. You've got ice cream makers. The further you get away, the 6 degrees of separation that you get away from making the ice cream, the more chance there's going to be that there's something that goes wrong. So when someone calls up, I ask my Sherlock Holmes question: when was the last time everything ran right? Oh, it ran right 5 minutes ago. And I see you've had the machine for 17 years. Yeah, that's right. Well, I don't think there's anything wrong with the machine. I suspect there's going to be something wrong with that formula you just made. Go taste it. What are you making? Oh, I'm making cherry Italian ice. Oh, taste it for me. What's it taste like? It tastes like cherry juice and water. I said, yeah, you left the sugar out, and now it froze up. And by the way, are you making the ices? Oh, no, we hired a young person who's doing it now. Well, that person needs a little bit more training because you didn't quite impress on them that it's the sugar that you're freezing, not the water. So the more hands-on, you don't have to be hands-on, you can pass it down to other people, but it's important to always know your machine and keep up on it. But you can just run this thing 24 hours a day. Now I'm just looking every once in a while and I see that it's firming up nicely. Yes?
So we've had our business for about 13 years. We have one of your old machines, an FC500.
That's a custard machine.
Yeah, right.
That's the thing over there.
Can we make ice in that old machine?
Yes, you can. Yeah, you can take these same formulas and put it through. You're going to probably run it just like the custard, which runs different than any other machine. But yeah, you can do it. It's going to wear the heck out of the blades because it's sugar and water. But we have new blades coming along. I'm sorry, there was a question right here.
And starting a new store and using that 350 and making a batch, you're only making half of that 3-gallon bucket. Would you can make a second batch just to fill that, or just go with the one and move on to another flavor?
How much are you selling? How much are you selling?
Right.
Yeah, if you're selling that you need the full bucket, make the full bucket. So it doesn't matter. There's not going to be any, there's so little time differential between the time you made it and put it in there and filled it again that it's not going to hurt anything at all. Okay. We have 5 minutes to go on there. Yes?
So this machine can make hard ice cream, Italian ice, and custard / acai custard?
Yes. Yeah.
This one?
Yeah. In fact, I want to show you, Patricia, later. I've got some acai in the refrigerator I want to show you. It's in an aseptic package. And have you all had acai ice cream or Italian ice? The hardest part about it is learning how to pronounce it. When you see it written, you're going to go, oh, I want some of that acai ice cream. You know. And
then you get in your Hyundai.
Yeah, and there's acai ice cream, but it's pronounced acai or close to that. But it's a wonderful flavor.
When I say custard form, is it's like more of the, not the ice cream version, more of the, scoop it, make it easier so when they want their toppings, you could just move it along the bowls, acai bowls.
Yes.
Okay, good.
What she's talking about is the consistency of the product.
Yeah.
And you can control that out of the machine. You're going to see today, if you watch carefully, I pull a stiffer product than Jeff does. It doesn't make any difference. I'm just going to take a quick look. That's not ready. You can see how it's runny. So that's not ready yet. It doesn't matter whether you pull it out the way I do or Jeff does, because the freezing cycle is basically, it's ready now as far as texture. It's not going to be more icy because I pull it sooner than later. And besides, it's going into a chest freezer where you're going to take it down to where you couldn't scoop it hard as a rock, and then you're going to take it from there and put it into a dipping cabinet back there where you're going to scoop it at 6 degrees. So it's a fallacy to say that, well, I don't like it because I'm pulling at this temperature. Yeah, so we got to follow up.
What would happen if you ran it too long? Let's say you lost track of time making ice, and you ran it for, let's say, 30 minutes instead of 15.
Why?
You won't get to 30 minutes. You're going to get to about 15, 16 minutes, and the machine's going to shut down on you. It's got more sense than the operator does. It's got a amp meter in here that's measuring the load, and it's going to say you're putting too much load on the system the way Emery Thompson designed it, so I'm going to shut you down. So shame on you. You weren't listening to your timer.
Once you have your formula, there's only one thing left for you to do: focus. You're not reading books, you're not visiting with your friends, you're not on the phone, you're not in another room. You're making product, and you have to focus.
Yeah,
it's easy once you focus.
You can't be waiting on customers and make ice cream at the same time. Make it now, 9:30 in the morning when there's nobody around. Yes?
Would you store gelato and ice cream at the same temperature?
I'm sorry?
Would you store gelato and ice cream?
Yes, I started that over 20 years ago. The question was about storing ice cream and gelato together. 20 years ago, everybody was doing it the Italian method as it was new coming over here. Everything was new about gelato 25 years ago. In fact, when it first hit San Francisco, they were using 16% butterfat because nobody knew what gelato was. They just knew it was dense and Italian flavorings. And of course, we've taken that fat level down. But the problem with gelaterias, in Italy, if I'm walking around Florence and it's 11 in the morning and I go in here to this store and I want my tiramisu, I'm sorry, we ran out. And, you know, we'll have some tomorrow. And I don't worry about it because I know I can go a half a block away and there's another gelateria and I'll get my tiramisu. There is no brand loyalty in gelato. They'll, I'll get it here, I'll get it there. Here in the United States, if I haven't been to Jeff's place in 5 years and I really love his mint chip, then he better have it in stock. Americans have to have every flavor in stock. So 10 or 12 years ago, I wrote an article and published it that said, why can't we freeze gelato? You know, real catchy name. And I said, why can't you instead? Because what they were doing is, well, we also didn't sell out all that gelato today. Some, you know, not everybody comes in the way they do in gelaterias. So they were throwing stuff out. Imagine I get a tractor trailer of stainless steel in here a week into my 3 factories. What if I just bought a sheet a day and then waited until I get another sheet tomorrow? That's not going to work. That's not the way to do production. I need a tractor trailer full of stainless steel. So that's the same idea with gelato, is you're building up an inventory. What's in those freezers is your inventory, so you don't have to make mint chip every day. You don't have to keep coming back 3 times a day to make tiramisu. It may sound romantic, but it's only romantic for about the first week, and then you go, I'm exhausted. Why don't I build an inventory? You know, it's like, okay, we're going to make a Betty Crocker cake today, and then this afternoon I got to go back out to the store and buy it again because...
Squeeze cups or bowls? I didn't see any.
I've got squeeze cups, but I had to pull a portion for myself to take to my relative investors. Okay, we're going to take a look. That's good. Now, I'm going to turn off the refrigeration and let it come out. And look at that color. All natural. There's no, you didn't see me put anything else in there. That is a beautiful product. Look at that. And you see how fast we got it out. We'll talk about filling pints later, but that's critical to get it out fast, because otherwise, especially in ice cream and gelato, if it takes a long time to come out of the machine, your first ice cream is going to weigh different than your last ice cream. And that's the kiss of death. McDonald's, I think, is a lousy hamburger, but it doesn't matter whether you go to Newark, New Jersey, or Barcelona, or
same lousy hamburger,
or Slovenia. It's the same lousy hamburger. You know what you're going to get when you walk through those doors. And consistency is the key to any business. I can't build a good machine this week and then, well, don't buy him in December because he's going off for Christmas for a few days. It's got to be always the same. Okay, and if you can't get it out of here fast, it won't be the same. Come on up and try this.
It's morning orange juice.
There you go. Sometimes we do morning rum and other flavors.
Just a little bit, not too much.
Thank you, sir.
Oh, you said a little bit. You're going to want more when you taste that.
Thank you.
That's perfect. And I still have a little more in there, I guess.
Fine job.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Well, to my relatives at Stefano's Brooklyn Ice, I can tell you we've got the perfect orange.
Thanks.
And hats off to Luigi.
Thank you, sir.
You gonna try some?
Yes.
Gail.
Come on, just get that.
Good. Thank you. Just ice cream.
Thank you.
Mr. Ketchum.
And it's
Grazie.
refreshing. It cools you off
signore.
on a hot day. It makes you want to have
Bada boom.
another bowl of it.
Thank you.
Hi, good to see you. Welcome.
Bada boo.
Isn't this fun?
I've seen all your
I'm going to get you 2 spoons.
Not all of them.
No, of course not, I'm sure. But I got to see some of the videos that you have on your website before coming. It was
Oh, good.
great. I think that was very helpful.
Here we go. You're welcome.
You got more?
No, that's it.
Okay. Yeah, don't put anything underneath. What? How many years?
Yeah, I mean, Malcolm Stogo couldn't train me.
I'll still keep trying.
All right.
Christy, know to come in here?
This is perfect.
What's next?
Isn't that good? I can get any price for that.
You're supposed to sing and dance. Right?
Okay, I can do that.
Lemon lime pie.
Lemon lime pie.
Okay. Jeff, you're up.
Europe.
Europe.
Europe. Grazie.
If you don't mind.
Sagabone. Oh my. Never been to Italy.
You haven't?
No.
Oh.
I was all scheduled to go, and the car was scheduled to pick me and George up for a 3-week Italian. He's Italian.
Right.
At 7:30 in the morning. We're waiting there, and I had a panic attack, and I canceled.
Well, I got there twice.
Lost all my money.
First time I went, they were still on the lira in Italy. And so I called up Chase Bank, and, I'm just, my father always said, all you need is your toothbrush and cash. You can pick up everything else you need. And so I said, give me a lot of money. Give me a lot of lira. So they gave me a lot of lira, and I had it bulging in my pockets. And I went out at 2 in the afternoon for the usual American snack, a Diet Coke and a bag of chips. And I go into the supermarket, and I get a Diet Coke and a bag of chips, and I hand over some lira. And the lady just looks shocked at me, and she calls over her manager. And the manager goes, you speak English? I said, yes, I do. He said, you need to be more careful. You just paid with $1,000 bill for a bag of chips.
And what you said was, I know.
No. I said, thank you very much for telling me.
How we look for mix?
We look good.
Mix.
How you look?
You want me to get it?
No, I'll get it.
And it turned out great, right?
Yes.
Okay. Also, let me get rid of this, and then...
That's fine. That's perfect.
No, no,
Hi,
no.
Paula.
That's orange ices.
Okay.
Can you put that into a smaller container for me?
All right, my turn.
All right.
My turn. So we'll make, what's on the list?
Lemon lime.
Lemon lime pie. As I told you before, it used to be key lime pie, and it still is when I can find key lime pie filling. I just started.
This is delicious, thank you. Packaging. What do you recommend for packaging
A package.
of this? Well, round cups or
Depends
Italian
where you're
ice.
selling and who you're selling to. If you're at a fair or festival, you'll use a squeeze cup.
Okay.
Or pleated water cup, as it were.
Okay. All right. I just didn't know which one was the best.
If you're on Rodeo Drive, you'll simply put it in this and charge $9 for it.
They can't see. Come on out here with that.
If you're on Rodeo Drive, you'll put it in this and charge $9.
This is $2. That's $9. Same product.
Okay.
This is Italian ice. That's fresh fruit sorbet. This is called we call this a squeeze cup in New York. If you ask for squeeze cups, they'll look at you like a deer in the headlights. It's known outside of New York City and Philadelphia as a pleated water cup, like a lady's dress is pleated, and you fill it with ice and you squeeze it up and you eat it from the bottom. And that's great fun and really inexpensive.
So that's traditionally how it's served.
Well, it
In New York
depends
or
on who
Philadelphia,
you're
yes.
selling it to.
Yeah. You get it out in Los Angeles and you're going to have to do it in a bowl with a
You're
scoop.
only going to get $2 for that.
Because I was recently at a 4th of July thing in the park, and the first concession trailer I saw was Italian Ice. I walked over there and kind of checked them out, and they were serving it in like an ice cream cup, and it was about the size of an ice cream scoop.
Yeah.
Selling for like, I don't know, $5 or $6.
That's crazy. That scoop cost 5 cents. All fresh, 5 cents. So look at the profit on that. In fact, Jeff, I'll just pass something out and then get out of your way. Here is a breakdown of the money that you can make selling Italian Ice. It's unbelievable. Here you go. If you just pass them down.
So you're going to get, so you see about what, 4 ounces that we... Are we going to do the 2.5 ounces or 4 ounces?
I would not go lower than 4 ounces because McDonald's has named 4 ounces what it is, a quarter pound. Wow, a quarter pound scoop.
So this is about 3 or 4 ounces?
That is when it's a 3 ounce cup, and when you crown it over, it's 4 ounces.
Okay.
So yes, 4 ounces is the perfect small, or regular, not small.
But put it in an 8 ounce Dixie cup with a plastic spoon, and it becomes $4.50.
Yeah. It really depends on location. At a festival, you'd probably want to get a bigger portion. You're competing. Taurus back over there, I'll tell you about his theory of pricing later, which is fantastic. But the bigger the venue, the more you can charge. So it depends on where you are. I'm sorry, I'm interrupting you. You go ahead.
Hey, I'm on the clock here. This is dairy mix. Comes from cows, of course, and then through a dairy. This is, we call it ice cream mix, although Steve started to rename it blend, ice cream blend. It's basically cream and skim milk and milk solids. That's what it is, little sugar. And this is the basis for all the ice creams that we'll ever make. And they always come in these, what's called bladders. These bladders are 10 quarts each. And they usually come 2 bladders to a box. And the box, how much will it cost? It'll run you about $45.
How much per gallon? About 10, 11?
I don't know. Math was never my strong suit.
About $11 a gallon.
And my machine at the store is a 24 quart. Looks the same as this, but it's double the capacity. So we're going to make it half. In a 24 quart machine, which you'll all have one day, no matter what you start with, you'll have the Emery 24. It's just an absolute. It's a lock. So to handle the bladders, which any of my this week's students could do like that, except Steve. We lift it up by the neck, squeeze it over here, take off the cap, and then we're going to grasp it in our other hand and pour 5 quarts in, because this is a 10 quart bag, but we only need 5 quarts. So we'll go up to about 5 quarts.
What percentage are you using? 10, 14, 8?
100%.
Of the dairy mix.
I know.
Oh, okay.
We use 10%.
Okay.
Right, Steve?
Yes.
Yeah. 10% butterfat, I've found over the last 10 years, is ideal. You can make anything from it. You can get the smoothness from it, the creaminess, and you don't get bloated. A little girl like you could probably eat a good half gallon in 20 minutes. No?
Yeah, I could. I could probably eat more.
Okay, so the ingredients for this are lemon pie filling or lemon cream, sugar, Key West. You don't have to write this down. First taste it.
It'll be on the video.
It'll be on, that's right.
Do you have a can opener?
I already opened them.
Okay.
Why?
Just want to make sure. Get you anything you need.
Be prepared, you know? Be prepared. So first thing I do is I line up, the first thing I do is pour the proper amount of mix in the machine. That's taken care of. So let's do that. This is 5 quarts, and we'll pour it right in. Now, if I were Steve in the back row with the hat, this would be on the floor by now. Steve, am I lying? Okay.
You must know Steve.
Well, he took the class, and right now they're still cleaning up. but he nailed it.
Let's
He
not
got it.
malign him just because his name's Steve.
Oh, that's right. Now we're going to add some sugar. How much, Gail?
4 pounds.
How much, Gail?
4 pounds.
This is half the size of my machine. Okay. We'll add 2 pounds of sugar. And before we add the sugar, we'll start the machine so that we get a great mix. Super premium, start. And this will go at 234 revolutions per minute.
Yeah, you hit super premium.
I know.
You want
I
homemade.
know. So this'll spin counterclockwise at 234 revolutions per minute, which is the world's greatest mixer. So we'll then just add the sugar. And in no time, that's dissolved with no residue in the bottom of the bucket. You're getting it all, which is a good thing. So the sugar's in there. Now we'll add the good to the waste not, want not, right? Now we'll add the lemon cream. It's good stuff. Now we're making ice cream. You can make, years ago, ices, Steve will attest to, lemon cherry chocolate. That's what you had. That was Italian ices. These days, you go into a fine Italian ice place and you see flavors that you never dreamed of could be replicated in Italian ices. So the Italian ice business has learned from the ice cream people that anything goes. What we're making now, lemon lime ice cream, we can make lemon lime Italian ice. We can make Fat Elvis Italian ice. And then there's the middle ground, which is, what's the middle ground? Cream ice. Anybody know what cream ice is? Raise your hand if you do. Okay, how about sherbet? Raise your hand if you know. Whole different story. Same thing. All right, so now we're going to add Duncan Hines. Now that brings me to another point. You don't mind if I digress, do you?
Now if you pour it in and start the freezing.
Okay. So in other words, digress after I digress.
Yeah, work first.
Okay. So I'm pouring this in. And this will be spatulaed in. Now I got to tell you, Steve's a good friend of mine, but I make nothing on the sale of his machines. So when I tell you this, it's absolute fact. I've been using them for 10 years. Everything goes in here. Whether you're making nuts, berries, fruits, frozen stuff, it all goes right in. It's and that enables you to make flavors that you never dreamed of before.
And that's only in that machine. But this one doesn't accept nuts, or does it?
Every machine accepts nuts, cherries, berries, raisins, gravel.
Don't
You
get
can-
me that excited. I'm excited here.
You're excited?
Oh yeah, thank you.
She's
I'm
excited.
excited.
What are you excited about? Starting a business or?
No, about using a product that will actually make the work easier. There's some machines,
You know,
like Brazilian machines that, claim the same thing, but they cost a lot of money. And
remember when your grandmother made soup? She had all the ingredients, and you looked at the ingredients, it was all good stuff. And it's the same with ice cream. If you put good stuff in, you can't screw it up. Good stuff is going to come out. All right, what didn't we add? The Key West lime juice. Is there a difference between lime juice, Schleim juice, and Key West lime juice? You bet there is. Just like there's a difference between Domino's sugar and Great Value sugar.
Yeah, but it was a great value.
That's correct. It's a great value. The profit in everything we make is enormous. Tell them, is it enormous profit, Steve? Are we working on an amazing profit? Unlike any product in the
Yes.
world,
12.4
the
billion.
profit in this is amazing. You're going to sell an ice cream for $5. You're going to make more than $4. on that ice cream. That's pretty good. All right, what do we do now? We add some lime juice. I'm not sure how much, so we'll just add a touch.
That's a pretty heavy-handed touch.
That's a touch. Luckily, this wasn't a gallon. All right, so now, this is the beauty of it. We've added 3 basic things. We've added lemon pie filling. Now, when you go to the store, there's a whole lot of different pie fillings. Apple, blueberry, strawberry, rhubarb. So just pick up a couple of cans, add a little sugar, and see what you got. Now I'm going to see what we have now. And if it's good, we'll proceed. If it's not, we'll adapt. And you're the judge. Her ice cream is going to be different from his ice cream because she may want sweeter, less sweet, more flavor, and you may want it differently. Also, the area you're in. You may want different products for different areas. So let's see what we got. That's perfect. Of course you knew I'd say that, right? It is perfect. And we'll make ice cream out of it. We'll put this on. And this counts up, down, right? Up, good.
Oh, no, it counts down.
Yes, it's doing fine. It's counting up. That's
okay.
what I like.
Either one.
The timer I use on my machine is just like this. It counts up. And I use it for no other reason than to remind me that the machine is on. Because I put it right here and I can always look across the room to make sure that I started everything and it's going, and it's not going too long. Any questions about what we're making?
What about the mix? You say you're using 10%. We started using 14%. Is that going to make any difference?
It'll just make it richer. Think of it this way. In the morning, you get a cup of coffee. It starts out black. You put 2% milk in. It's a little weak. You put skim milk in. It's a little weaker yet. You put whole milk in, 4%. Nice color. What happens to the taste? 2% is a little transparent, isn't it? Whole milk, how about if you add cream? Whoa, now I got a cup of coffee. Same thing with ice cream. You're not changing the dynamic of the flavor, but you're changing the richness of it. Now, because these machines, one second. Again, this is his machine, but I use it every day. With this machine, you can churn at different speeds to come out with a thicker product or a fluffier product. And there's no other machine that does that. It's true, there is none. Yes?
Does a different percent dairy mix...
Speak up a little.
Does a different percent dairy mix affect the amount, like how long it takes to freeze?
Does the difference in butterfat?
Right, like if
that's the percentage, by the way, I should clarify that. When we're talking 10%, 14%, it's percentage of butterfat, just like in cream, skim milk, and all that. And your question was, does the butterfat content make it different time to freeze? And the answer is yes. Now, somebody asked me that in class yesterday. I went from 10%, and one time I went to 14. And I called Steve up and I said, Steve, did I tell you it's taking longer or shorter?
I don't recall.
Okay.
I think longer.
It takes one of them. But it doesn't matter because you're there making ice cream. Make what you like. Make what your customers want.
Yeah, make a product that you like the taste of. But
we say there's 3 things to be imminently successful. Make the best product you can. Charge a fair price. Fair for you and fair for your customers. Very important. And the third thing, I'll let you think on it. Yes, sir.
Now, I know you use the mix to make ice cream, right? You use the mix to make cream ice, right? Custard, you use a different
Absolutely. No, same mix. But there's something you can add. Custard, the difference in custard and ice cream is egg yolks.
Right.
And iRice makes a fantastic product called Bavarian Mix, Bavarian Base. This is egg yolks in a can.
So would you add that to the mix?
Absolutely.
Or just, okay.
Absolutely.
And the health department says it's an ingredient, so you don't need to pasteurize, which is the key thing.
And I have the recipes for making custard out of any ice cream. Thanks.
On the butterfat content, it also depends on where you are in the country. Because of these videos, I've had people saying, well, I can't find 10% up in Minnesota, and what am I going to do? And the answer is, you buy what's available local and also what the local taste is. I couldn't sell a 10% butterfat in New York if I tried, because we're almost to the point where we don't care what it tastes like, we care, how much does it cost. So in New York, if you were selling 14%, I would probably sell 16%, not because it's better, just so I can say, hey, I'm the richest ice cream in Manhattan. And that's not a good reason anymore. So you sell what the public likes, but traditionally, the colder the climate, the higher the fat content is going to be. Down here in Florida, if you eat a big portion of Haagen-Dazs and step out in the 90-degree heat with 100% humidity, you're gonna start sweating. You might get a stomach ache. It's too much for the body to take. As Jeff was alluding to, the lower fats, and the 10% is a federal minimum to call it ice cream. When I was growing up, we had a product called ice milk. Really horrible name. That means the federal government says it is less than 10%. So that's why how they get away with gelato, frozen yogurt, a lot of these different names, because the federal government doesn't spell them out. But it really comes down to what Jeff's talking about. It's no longer 16 is richer than 14. It's what do you like the taste of? What does your public like? Yes.
Basically, it serves as an egg substitute, but also, okay, so let's say we want to serve a vegan, the same flavor that you're doing, but what's the alternative for egg?
There isn't any, because there is none. See, the federal government says that custard, the word custard, means, I think it's 1.8% egg yolk by volume. That is a defined product. That's what we designed this big machine for if you're doing high volumes. But custard is a specific term. A lot of places, a lot of Italian ice places will say they're selling custard, when in fact it's nothing more than soft ice cream.
And in France, where custard is the norm, the law regulates how much egg yolk you need in it.
And just like here.
Right.
And you go down to the Jersey Shore, and nobody there says, I'm going out for a soft ice cream. They say, I'm going out for a custard. That's always been the generic term. Sometimes generic terms work into our lingo. You're down in Lower Manhattan in Little Italy, and you ask for a cherry Italian ice, you're going to hear people say, give me a cherry lemon ice. Give me a grape lemon ice.
In the Midwest, when you want a soda, you say, give me an orange Coke. Give me a root beer Coke. Everything is
right.
Coke in the Midwest.
So we do play with words, yes. Over there.
Temperature to serve custard and ice, are they the same?
They're close. My ice serves at 16 degrees Fahrenheit, and custard's probably about 12. I could get away with putting them in the same cabinet. If you ever see Italian ice and hard ice cream, what Jeff's making today, and my Italian ice in the same cabinet, run like hell, because it means that the Italian ice is loaded up with chemicals and high fructose corn syrup in order to lower the freezing point. That's how, right away, before you even taste it, that's how you know if you've got a good ice or not. It ought to be in a separate cabinet up about 15, 16 degrees. If it's down at 6, there's a lot of chemicals in there, and I don't want it. And neither do the largest group in the world, the millennials. All 85 million are not buying chemicals anymore.
Serve that in the same cabinet as ice?
I said it's close.
Now, I put it, when I have custard in my store, it's in the same freezers as ice cream. When the girls come in, we're open 6 to 10 at night. When the girls come in at 5, they take out certain flavors that need to be tempered, and they put them on the counter for 15 minutes. Then they put them back in the freezer. So certain ones are going to be like this. The girls could never scoop it all night. So they temper them.
So what he's saying is, it's not that he's got some special cabinet that he can do that. He's taking it out and letting it warm up on the counter. I'm trying to avoid that. For his business, it works.
It's better to keep them separate.
Better to keep them separate. How's it coming?
Are we ready?
I don't know. You tell me.
Well, it looks like...
It looks a little...
You would wait.
I would wait.
Right.
Yeah. You
But
pull
I'm
it?
ready. Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay.
You know what I discovered? We discovered in the class yesterday, the pulling it sooner means that it's a little denser.
Yes, it is.
It's less whipping.
It has an add less whipping.
Right.
That's right.
That's why my ice cream's so good. And we just discovered it.
That's one of the reasons. You need a tub?
Do I need a what?
A tub?
Okay. You want to store it in that?
No. I'm going to put it into something like this.
Okay. Well, I'll fill this
let me
up
do this.
and-
Let me get some of the small ones. You can pull it into that.
Yeah, I'll serve from this, and you can put it in a gelato for...
Yeah.
There'll be more than that.
I'll start with these.
Okay, because there's one right here, a big one if you want.
I want to fill these little ones first.
Okay.
The little ones go to my house.
Now, how do you know when it's ready? As Steve just alluded to, he pulls it later. I pull it sooner. But when I pull it, when I think it's ready, is when it holds a peak. You see that? You see it's not going down into the bottom. It's holding a peak. In my opinion, it's ready.
And when I pull it, I can open the gate and close it, and it cuts off like a knife went through it, like you just sliced a piece of pie. And there's no difference in the quality or the product. Mine will tend to have more air depending on, and I can adjust that with the Infinite.
Good. Is it more than 15 minutes or?
8.
8 minutes?
Wouldn't you say it's about 8 minutes freeze time? You put
To
extra
do
sugar.
this?
Yeah, you put extra sugar in. You might be.
Yeah,
10.
8 minutes. That's all right. 8 minutes, I think it went. You got more.
Okay.
Ah, now I get the big one.
What's your timer say right now?
0, I reset it.
It doesn't say anything. You have to look at it. I couldn't resist. How is this?
I don't know.
I'll give it the taste test.
Okay, you want to try
You
this?
can't have this. I'm sorry. I'm taking this home.
You want to try this? Yeah. All right, well, come on up. I'm not serving you.
Yeah, you are. You got the spoon in your hand.
You're a smart mouth, aren't you?
Yeah, I am. I'm that guy that works midnight to 6. Look at my shirt.
Mark that one, Steve. Lemon lime.
Small mouth.
Hey, let's get something straight. You're going to be coming up all day. Eat what you want.
All right. Don't throw away. Thank you.
That's okay.
You're always one step ahead of me, aren't you? And now you're going to tell me you just want a little, right?
Thank you.
No, I packed it all. For storage. And of course, gate later.
Yeah, just like that. This is my lowest one. Thank you.
No, you want this for Mike?
No, go ahead and finish with
Go ahead. Take a spoon.
Now, Jeff, you made that in the same machine you have.
No, that's a 12.
That one is? Okay.
Do you doubt me?
Well, it looks exactly the same.
Yes, it's the same footprint. Don't you listen to anything?
It's just got a longer cylinder.
Okay. Deeper, right?
Yeah, this is a 12-quart cylinder.
Okay.
The other's a how much?
24.
Right.
That you had. But it looks
Right.
the same. It's not.
Same footprint.
Okay.
Gail.
Thank you.
Now, I don't think you can get ice cream creamier than this.
Looks creamy.
It's very creamy.
Thank you.
By the way, you can all have as much as you want, but you'll be sick of this stuff in a couple hours. Where are you from?
New York originally.
Where?
Young.
I'm just going to sneak past you.
Yonkers.
Watch yourself.
Well,
with
that's
this.
almost New York.
Oh, boy, I will Born in the Bronx, but I was raised
I
here.
wouldn't brag about it.
I know, that's the biggest city in Puerto Rico is what my father got there and hauled us over here to Florida. First year he was there, he's like, mm-mm. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost the consistency of the
Sit down and eat.
acai. Oh. Oh my God. I'm sorry, it's good. Oh my God.
And always last. Kevin is always last online, right?
Buddy right there.
Is it?
Nice.
I have to visit your store. I work up in that neighborhood.
Where do you work?
Wildwood at the Exchange. We're doing the
Sure.
improvements up there to make your travel here a lot easier.
You need that? Do you need this?
No, but give me this. Oops. Let's get the rest out. Waste not, want not.
Like we could continually fill in the hopper,
Yeah.
making ice cream. You know, we make anywhere from.
No, I build most of those for Culver's.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Excuse me. Okay, it's melting.
I'm waiting on them.
Okay, mine's melting in there. I'll bring it into you. He's taking too long.
Pretty creamy too.
Yeah, I mean, when it hits your mouth, it's like, wow.
It's a good seller at the store.
Take it away.
Good to go.
All right.
But obviously in the store it'd be more further than this, more of a scoop.
Well, it's the next day.
So I had to break
but
it
it's
up.
still creamy as heck. It's a real creamy ice cream. Kevin seems to like it. Normally I do more, but
I've been talking to you about 3 years already, trying to see if I can buy a machine. I never decided.
Oh, okay.
So finally I decided to change from you.
Oh, good. I'm glad you did. No, I'm going to go to the
we
next
amended the schedule?
Well-
you sort of work on the fly, don't you?
I do. I guess they are taking a break, aren't they? Good, because I need the time to set up.
Okay, and I got to answer the phone, see whether I have root canal or not.
All right.
I'm going to rinse my machine.
All right, you go ahead and check that.
Check what?
Check your root canal.
Yeah.
Hey, Mike. Can you take us off? Turn us off?
Because the barrels in these machines, unlike any other machines, they're canted. What is it, 5 degrees?
I don't know. I just turned your mic off. Mike, you want to turn it back on? Thank you.
The barrels are canted, so not only does that help extrude the ice cream, but when you're rinsing, it just comes right out. You'll see how this comes right out.
Yes.
Say you have an employee who's maybe not on top of their job, and the product you have, say nuts, whatever that's inside there, say it sits for 10, 30 minutes maybe on there, like on that last cycle, will that affect the cleaning process since it's not done right away?
Well, if you go that long, the machine's going to freeze up. It's got an electronic safety device in it.
No, I think
say-
what he means is if we don't rinse it for 15, 30 minutes.
Oh, no. If you don't rinse it for 15 or 30 minutes, no problem. There's a sign right behind you that shows a picture of Mr. Peanut choking. And we are concerned about, peanuts. So that's it.
So the product sticks in the inside?
No, they won't stick because the barrel has warmed back up. The main thing is you want to plan your production. You don't make chocolate and then go to vanilla because you'd have to rinse out a lot. You make vanilla and then you make butterscotch swirl, which is where'd that can go?
And then talk to me later. I'll tell you why he's wrong.
Oh, he's not right. You have to go call your dentist. Go call your dentist while we do some real work around here. He's trying to get out early. Butterscotch, chocolate swirl, strawberry swirl is going to come in a can like this. Unless you make your own, you pour it out. And as the ice cream's coming out of the machine, you're dipping a spatula in and you're swirling it through. Okay. So you haven't contaminated the machine. The machine still thinks it's on vanilla. But I'm adding butterscotch swirl. So I've got vanilla ice cream followed by butterscotch swirl, cherry swirl, chocolate swirl, and then I go maybe strawberry, and then and I'm putting strawberries in here. After strawberry, I might go to Bordeaux cherry. They're like strawberries, but they're darker. And so if a little bit of strawberry gets into the Bordeaux cherry, you're never going to notice. And then from Bordeaux cherry, you go to black raspberry, which is darker than the Bordeaux cherry. So you've made all these flavors before you even have to rinse out. And if you're planning your production right, you're not making just one batch of cherry. You're making 5 or 6 batches because you want to build up an inventory to put in that freezer so you don't have to do this again for 2 or 3 days. So, I mean, you'll make mistakes, but the more you plan your production, you may have seen me while Jeff was working, I just ran 1 rinse through here, which is all it took for the Italian ice because it just loosens up. But even if you had to do 2 rinses, you're not looking at more than a couple of minutes to get ready. The exception, there's 2 exceptions. One is peanut. Make that at the end of the day because everybody's afraid of peanut allergies, and they are true. Children do have terrible peanut allergies. And the other is, being a New Yorker, is rum raisin. After I make rum raisin, I open up the door, I take everything out, I bring in the Pope and re-bless the machine, because if you get, every New Yorker knows, if 1 raisin gets into any other flavor, that's not a mistake, that's a cockroach. And we know it. That's a cockroach in that ice cream. No, I just made rum raisin ice cream. No, I don't believe you, it's a cockroach, this is New York. So you take it apart and you clean out so that there's no cockroaches in there, or I'm kidding, the raisins out of there. But otherwise, rinsing out is so easy because the openings are so large and the barrel's so big. If you've got a soft ice cream machine like this thing over here, I don't know if the camera will swing over. This is our new custard machine that we're working on. This has got a little diameter barrel like that. And so if I threw nuts and candies and chips in here, it'd be a lot more work to clean out because it's just so narrow, you're not getting the fast movement of a big barrel. So the nature of a batch freezer. And that is why Jeff is so incredibly successful at what he does.
Oh, I smell a rat.
No, cockroaches, no rats.
I don't see, I guess you're going to blend, right?
I'm going to who?
Not without the top of the Ninja.
I'm looking for the top of the Ninja.
Well, it's not here.
I will be right back while I go find it.
And don't forget the blades and handle them carefully.
It's not here.
What are you making?
Cherry.
Oh.
Cherry ice.
With real cherry?
Yeah.
Oh, my.
Yeah. Be right back.
So, what else do you want to talk about? Yes?
So, when I'm making ice cream, I turn off the freezer part. I usually let it beat longer.
You talk very quickly.
Oh, sorry. When you turn off the freezer part of the machine, you empty it right away. I usually let it beat longer.
Boy, great questions. You know I teach this class, and I have for many, many years, and there's a secret or invitation-only Facebook page for everyone who graduated. And when you go on that, about 3 years ago, I'm reading it because it's 24/7, you can read it, it's fascinating. And I'm reading it, and one of the girls opened a store, and her question was to everybody, because that's what they do on that page. She said, "How long do y'all fluff?" And I read it again. I said, "Wait a minute. there's a mistake here. How long do y'all fluff? And that's what you're referring to. What she meant is, this is mind-boggling. If you shut the refrigeration off and let the machine keep going, it's like making whipped cream. You know, you keep beating it and it keeps expanding because why? Air is going into it. Now, let me ask you a question. You seem like a fairly intelligent girl. If you take it right away and taste it, and then fluff it for 10 minutes, and then taste it, which is better? Hold it. Come on.
So.
No. Not
I think
so.
right away, but what I've noticed is that when you get more product.
Oh, well, hold it. Stop. How much money do we need? I got to tell you, what's your name? Kayla. The profit in what we're doing is unlike anything else in the world. There is no profit like this. That's why when you go to the store and you buy product to make Oreo cookie ice cream, are you going to buy Schmoreos or Oreos? Of course you are. Even though Oreos are more expensive, you know it gives you a better product. What you want, remember the three things we need to be enormously wealthy and successful in this business. Make the best product we can. That's number one, right? We stress that over and over. Make the best product. Forget how to do it. Forget what to... Make the best. When it comes to getting ingredients, buy the best. M&M's, $4. Schmem&M's, $3.50. What do I do? Oreos, Schmoreos, difference of $1. What do I do? We figured this out 9 ways to Sunday. You're going to make a ton of money. There is nothing else like this. You can sell women's shoes, you can sell software, you can sell trucks, you can sell anything you want. You're not going to have profit like this. So why fluff it and make a product that doesn't taste quite as good as the most dense, creamy, rich product you can produce?
So sometimes when I don't let it fluff, it's so dense that it's almost like hard to scoop, and it's not as soft after.
Oh my! So we're going to sacrifice the customer's product for your convenience.
No, I think it's like lighter and fluffier when it does beat longer, or sometimes I empty it right away and there's still a lot of product left in the machine, like it doesn't all come out.
What are you using?
I have a 40 quart, the old machine. Right?
You're freezing it too stiff. See, ice cream air content's like a bell-shaped curve. As it's going up, and if you know percentages of overrun, 70%. When the product is ready, when Jeff's ready to pull it out, it's at 70%. If he turns off the refrigeration and leaves it in there, it'll go to 100. But when it's going up to 70 and it gets to 70 and you leave the refrigeration switch on, it goes flatline and then down. It's like a balloon bursting. So your product is super dense because you froze it too stiff. You froze it too long. Cut back on the freezing time and all your problems will go away. And if you want more air, just turn off the refrigeration switch and let it fluff.
You may have old blades too, Steve.
Yes, if you've got old blades, it's going to cause more whipping action and longer time because it's not scraping efficiently.
When I saw how long do you let it fluff, I got on the ledge of my building and I had to stop myself from jumping.
Fair price, and the third one? Consistency and what the public likes? Could that be it?
No. Make the best product you can, charge a fair price for you and for the customer.
Got it.
Do we have anybody who knows what?
Location.
No. Treat everybody like your best friend. Because your goal, listen to me, this is very important. Your goal when you open a store is only one thing, and that's this. All day long. That's what you got to strive for. When you figure out how to do that, you're rich. You're successful.
You know, it's funny that you said that because I was just talking about that the other day about treat everybody like family. So
no, I stopped that. I used to say that.
I've got over 37,600 machines running in 171 countries, and I came up with a brainstorm. You know, as an executive, you have to think of new revenue streams, and I thought everybody is family. You're all now family, and I thought if I just write them all a letter all 37,600, and say, hey, can I borrow $5 and I'll pay it back Tuesday? That was going to be $187,000 somewhere, and that was going to be great. But anyway.
I used to say treat everybody like family, and then I was a little retrospective, and I said, I don't think so.
Yeah, no, you got to treat them better than that.
Treat them like your best friend.
If you don't think you're going to make mistakes like leaving the door open or freezing it up too long or some of the other, or leaving the sugar out of the product, I was using this fantastic Ninja blender that Jeff introduced me to, $99, and he says I overpaid. And because it really is the best. And I put my cherries in, and it's blending, and it wasn't grinding them up. And I'm going, what's the matter with this thing? I left that out. Doesn't do much good.
So you're saying Vitamax is out of the question?
No, my wife's
good.
got one Vitamax.
Let me tell you one thing.
$400, and this is better.
Every blender in the world, you know this, even a Vitamix, which is $500, has 3 little propellers on the bottom.
Yeah.
Useless. These, and you can't touch these.
The Tower of Death.
This has 6 blades up and down the stalk, constantly doing this. And they're $89.
No, the Vitamax.
Oh, the Vitamax, yeah.
I sold my Vitamix along with my KitchenAid that I had when I opened my store. I figured I need both. I sold the Vitamix $55. I bought 4 Ninjas at a flea market for $200.
Love it.
5 for $200.
Love it.
And I wish I should make money on selling Ninjas.
Yeah, me too.
Everyone in my class is buying them. Well, maybe I should buy them wholesale and sell. No.
You know,
You're the expert in what you do.
you know the word you were using, fluffy, and it was driving you crazy? It's lined up, right? Anybody here besides me know what bless your heart means in the South? Oh, you do? Okay. I come down from the Bronx. And, you know, we have kind of gestures, and this is 5 of these, and a few other things. And the first time I meet a lady, and she's helping my wife decorate, and she said, you really must close off the door to Mr. Thompson's office. It's just disgusting. And so I said a few choice words to her, and she said, well, bless your heart. Bless your heart is one of these, and one of these, and one of these, all combined into one. Oh, if someone says bless your heart, they have just dissed you beyond belief. It's incredible.
I hear it all the time.
Well, to your wife, what can I say?
Whoa.
All right, we have no power.
Well, I didn't know that. You knew that, didn't you? Rick knew it. You hear it a lot, huh, Rick?
Yes, sir.
By the way, one thing about the Ninja, if in your store, whether you sell ices, cream ice, or ice cream, if you want to make, and you absolutely have to, Snickers, M&M, Kit Kat, Payday, Baby Ruth, any Butterfinger, any candy bar, you must have this. There's a technique that will make your candy ice creams better than anybody next to you, anybody in your city, and you need the Ninja for it. What's the technique? Tell us. No, I don't know.
I'm going to tell him.
You are?
Yeah, because you told me. But can you help me get some power to this? Let me try.
Okay. Power. Power.
All right, try it now.
Power.
Try it now.
No. No, you had it. That was doing it.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, that's good. Is the leg lined up? With the arrow in the top.
Yeah.
You got my head turning.
Well, what do you want to do now?
I'm not getting power.
No, and you are on this. This was red before.
It was, and now it's not.
Yeah, where's Mike?
Mike's in the... Oh, here it is. I got it unplugged.
Power.
This sounds like one of my customers.
Power.
When did your machine stop? When did your machine stop running? Oh, well, when the hurricane came through and the power's out in the whole store. In fact, it's all out in the whole block. Maybe that's why your battery's not running.
What? You had power?
Oh, you got to push the button. Isn't that great? All right, you going to tell your secret, or am I going to tell your secret?
I'll do it.
All right. The secret to candy and other things. Oh, I'm good. I'm going to continue on.
Okay.
Did I pass out the formula to you folks? Yes. Okay.
I did it. So how to make any great candy ice?
Get that last paper on this whole side.
Maraschino cherry. Who's got the stack of maraschino cherries?
Did you get these? Okay, take one and pass them down. So, it's in my book, but I'll tell you anyway. You ever go to a store, ice cream store, and you order Snickers ice cream, and what you get is a bowl of vanilla ice cream with Snickers pieces in it. M&M ice cream, bowl of vanilla ice cream, M&Ms in it. Kind of disappointing, isn't it? Well, I invented a way to do this, and it's amazing. Boy, you take some notes. Let me see that front page.
I'm on a mission.
Okay. So here's how you do it. You take any candy bar that you want to do. Listen, don't write. Any candy bar, Snickers, Kit Kat, M&Ms, whatever. Cut it. M&Ms you don't have to cut into bite-sized pieces, but cut them into bite-sized pieces, and then put them in a bucket, one of these, or two of them, however much you're making, and freeze them overnight, rock hard. And then the next day, set up your Ninja and take the pieces. She's writing like a madwoman. Relax, just absorb it. Take the pieces, put them in your Ninja, and put them on high till they're pulverized. What you're going to wind up with is Snickers powder. And I'm telling you right now, if you want to invest in a business, sell powdered candy to ice cream places, because this is the greatest secret in the world. So you'll wind up with Snickers powder, M&M powder, Butterfinger powder. Then you make your ice cream according to my recipes, and you'll have ice cream. The ice cream will taste like Snickers or M&Ms, more than you ever thought. You ever go to the store and have the Snickers ice cream bars? Yeah, of course we have. They're great, aren't they? They taste like Snickers, don't they? If they were white ice cream with pieces of Snickers in it, no fun. So any candy bar you can do this with. And I do it with them all. I do it with Butterfinger. I've even done a Kit Kat. You can do it with any candy bar. It works. So that's the secret to amazing candy bar ice cream. And you should always have at least one on your menu board. Always have one. Because you might get those small people who are like 8 years old. What do they call them? Kids? We don't allow them in our store. But you might get some in your store, and they're going to want those candy things. Another thing, if you have a menu board, when you make Snickers or M&M or Butterfinger, you're going to buy the big boxes of bars. Take the box, cut out the logo, and put that on your menu board. It's very recognizable. You get a great public recognition on the flavor.
Here we go. While Jeff was giving away his trade secrets, I took 4 quarts of water and a lot of maraschino. I changed this cherries over to a different type of cherry, but it's the same idea. Maraschino cherries, and I'm going to get sugar, and I'm going to pour this in, and we're going to taste it before we run it, because the cherries are not as sweet. These cherries aren't as sweet as the ones we're using.
Is that just the cherries, or is there sugar in there too?
Sugar's not in there yet.
Here's the sugar. I was going to let them forget it and have you all puckering.
How much is that?
2 pounds you wanted.
Yes. Okay. Don't do this to your Emery Thompson. Italian ice, start. You're supposed to dissolve the sugar in all the flavor of the water and everything instead of pouring it in, because this is very abrasive. It's acting like sandpaper. It's going to shorten the life of your blades. Instead of maybe 6 years, you only get 5, which is pretty amazing since all the other machines, you change them every 45 days. So let me see if I can pour this in. I can't do anything while while pouring this.
Oh, okay. I thought you were
Okay.
multitasking.
I can't walk and chew gum.
Focus.
Yes.
No, I was just wondering, do you also sell the fill seal machine? Because that would be a, just to.
No, I only sell my back. I only sell what I build.
Okay.
So that includes the rainbow maker around here, the other things that were set up.
Okay.
Thank you. And we'll get a cup and taste this. Where'd they go? You gotta do it that way? All right.
What is this, cherry?
This is cherry.
That's a good flavor cherry. I use those dark cherries
Does it
too.
need more sugar?
No.
Just as it is? Okay, I'll be right with you. Hold on. Okay, the boss has given it the okay. We're going to turn on the refrigeration, and we're going to set the timer for 12 minutes. Now, there's more sugar in here than even the orange juice, so the freezing time might be a little bit longer. Yes?
Is there any alternative sweeteners that you would use?
Any alternative what?
Sweeteners.
Sure. You can use agave, you can use honey, you can use maple syrup, but things like Truvia and stevia don't act like sugar. They don't have what we in the dairy industry call solids. There's no there. You can bake with them because they're sweet, but they will not freeze. If I just put cherries and water in here, I'm most likely going to get a brick, a big block, a frozen cylinder of cherries and water. What makes it Italian ice or sorbet is the sugar. Without the sugar, it's not Italian ice. If you make a birthday cake without sugar, it's not really a birthday cake. You can make it with stevia and Truvia, but it's not going to have the same taste whatsoever. We're in the business of desserts. That's the key thing. Anybody here, don't even raise your hand. If anybody here is on the keto diet, you shouldn't be here because we are not keto friendly. We are going on the premise that everybody in the world likes to break a diet, likes to have a special treat. My wife was a vegan until I gave her a Hebrew National hot dog cooked on a grill with cheese on it, and that was the end of that. Said, heck with this stuff. It's the garlic in there. Oh, that's good. I'll be right with you. And so we are selling a treat, a reward. You can be on the keto diet for 2 months, but when you break that diet, come to us. It's like the old Irish thing they used to put in bars. If you're going to drive your old man to drink, drive him here. We want you to come to us when you're going to break that diet. Now, that said, in other videos, you'll see that I've done a lot with dairy-free ice cream, which is the old name was vegan. And that's coconut-based, and that's a whole different product, and it's wildfire. It's going like crazy. And I've got great videos on how to do that. I'll show you later a package of what I use in all natural coconut base. But the whole purpose of this is to make frozen desserts. If you're going to try to make healthy frozen desserts, don't open a bakery. It won't work. And don't open an ice cream parlor. Yes, you will get business and you'll get traffic for a while, but will you be around in 5, 10, 15 years? No, because people won't stick to it. The most ardent health nut breaks that diet someday. Everybody does. Yes?
Just a question about stabilizers like gurgum. I don't see any being added. Is it necessary?
I don't use stabilizers in my Italian ice, and it's all about longevity. If I take this product and put it in that freezer and it turns into a hard block of ice, of Italian ice, I don't need any stabilizer. If I then take that Italian ice and treat it like an old-time pastry shop where they make it today, this is Wednesday, and I'm going to put it out on Friday, and I take it out of the freezer, put it into the serving cabinet on Friday, and I'm going to serve it Friday, Saturday, Sunday, best stuff anybody ever eat. By Monday, if it's not all gone, then either the weather turned bad on me or I miscalculated how much I could sell. But I'm not going to keep it at scooping temperature more than 3 days. If you buy a commercial ice, which is all chemicals and stabilizers and polysorbate 80 and stuff you can't even write the name down on. Oh, you can use maltodextrin in ice cream. That is a modified food starch that after you ever see these little bags of candies, like Stouffer's candies, and they're chocolates. And being obsessive compulsive, I open the bag and eat the whole bag. And then you have diarrhea for about 4 days because there's a little bit of print at the bottom that says eating more than 1 or 2 of these candies at any setting will give you stomach distress, they call it. That's what multidextrin does to you. And multidextrin is pretty natural. It's a modified food starch. It just is horrible. But I'm making my ice so that I'm making it fresh. I'm building a reputation so that people are going to know if you want my cherry ice, don't come Sunday afternoon at 4 o'clock. I'm probably going to be sold out. But we'll have something else for you.
So Bergam and all that stabilizers are not necessary.
Not necessary if you have a 3-day shelf life. Now, when I make this and I put it in that freezer, I'm going to take it over to the other side of the state to Stefano's to show my partners, and it's going to be as fresh as we made it today because I'm going to freeze it rock solid and I'm going to transport it rock solid, and then I'm going to temper it up in my refrigerator, and it'll be just as good as when you had it. So it's all a matter of storage. It's not a matter of chemicals. Yes?
Your scenario that weather was bad, you didn't sell the product, and it's been at scooping temperature 16 degrees for 3 days. You take it, refreeze it?
No, I don't. Maybe a cheap place will. Maybe I would toss it. Did you all get this? Because there's only a few left. The Profits in Italian ice. Yeah. Look at the cost. It cost me $10 to make and gross $255. No, net $255, and that's just at a low price. I can afford to throw some stuff away because the profit margins are so high. The difference between a commercial ice or everybody else's ice that is out there and mine is they're going to have something cold to sell at Yankee Stadium. I'm going to have lines around the block. People are going to drive distances to buy my ice because it's better than anybody else's. There are pockets of places around the country that you can name. Cafe Ferrara in Little Italy has got a great ice. There's little pastry shops all around that are fantastic. And these people have lines around the block. That's what I want. I want to make something that they can't get anywhere else. Anybody can make an average ice. I want to make a spectacular ice. And if I have to sacrifice longevity, then what I tell people about the Italian ice business is the first thing you do when you get up at 6 in the morning is you get your cup of coffee and you turn on the Weather Channel. Even though they lie a lot, you'll get the general idea of what the weather's going to be for the weekend. And with this machine, if the weather department says, okay, it's going to rain Saturday and Sunday, I'm not going to make a lot of cherry ice. Well, and at 11 o'clock on Sunday, the sun comes out, I can come back here, and in 14 minutes, I can have a tub of, or a half hour, I can have a full tub of Italian ice ready to go. I can pull it stiff enough out of here to scoop right away if I have to. So, very weather-dependent business. Ice cream, no. You can put it in those 30 below freezers over there and keep it for 6 months. But if anybody, I had a lady call up from Newark, New Jersey, and she had a tub, and if you watch my videos, the 372 of them, you've heard the story, I'm sorry. She said, this was in, I think, April. She said, I have a tub of bubblegum licorice ice cream. Bubblegum licorice ice cream that I made in September. It's been at 30 below zero in my hardening cabinet. Is it any good? And I said, yes, ma'am, at 30 below zero, it's as good as the day you made it. But if it's been sitting in that freezer since September to April, throw it out. It's a lousy flavor. Nobody wants bubblegum licorice ice cream. Come on. It's an inventory thing. If you're in love with it and nobody else is, throw that flavor out. When nobody's looking around here, I make coffee banana ice cream. Ooh, it's horrible. Everybody in this building hates it. I think it's the one most, it's heaven. Coffee banana. And so I have 5 gallons of coffee banana and they're all for me. It's mine, but I can't sell it to anybody. It's horrible. So we'll just take a look. I have approximately 3 minutes to go before I would check it, but I can just check and see how it's doing. Yeah, and that's all still soupy. And I expected it would. We'll go beyond the 3 minutes because of the higher sugar content. Again, that's why there's no timers on these machines. Yes?
Using agave, honey, or maple syrup in anything that you're making, that's basically considered sugar-free?
No, because they're all sugars. In fact, agave, I've got some here. I like agave because I'm a diabetic. I've got somewhere up here an insulin pump that's running all the time, feeding me insulin. And on a glycemic scale of 1 to 100, sugar's at like 92 as being the worst. And agave's down at 26. So I can better eat this and my body can better assimilate it. That's what Dr. Oz said on TV. He said, this is the greatest stuff on earth, until it wasn't. And then Dr. Oz comes back, and I've got his article in my desk, and says, this is actually akin to corn syrup, high fructose corn syrup. He said it has the same effect on your body. Yes, it's lower in glycemic, but he said it's really crap for your body. So you can use it, and I still do. I like the taste, but it's still a sugar. Honey is a sugar. Maple syrup is a sugar. I mean, these are all still sugars. But we're in the sugar business. We're selling sugar. Just like a bakery is selling sugar. If you don't want sugar, stick to the fruit aisle, which is going to be sugar too. Okay. Anybody else? Yeah. Yes.
So if you have your Italian ice hard, frozen hard in your freezer, it'll last for a long time.
Yeah. Oh, it'll keep indefinitely.
That's just a matter of space. How much?
Yeah, and let me pull something out of this freezer, if I may, Taurus. I'll show you a neat invention. This looks like a dipping cabinet. I mean, not a dipping cabinet, what am I saying? It looks like a tub. And here's what happens. You got me okay, Mike? This tub is double walled and it's filled with something like glycol. And so it's been in the freezer overnight. It's super cold, and I can put my tub of Italian ice in there, and this is going to act like a refrigerator without a plug for the next 6 hours. So instead of having to have dry ice in a Pushcart, I can buy this for $85 and buy 6 of them, and I've got a whole delivery system right there. Isn't that great? Its technical name is a 3-gallon ice cream server. It's made by Carlisle, as in, I can't spell Carlisle. Anybody here from Pennsylvania? Okay, it's the same as the spelling of Carlisle, Pennsylvania. Let's see what we got here. Shut up. Okay, that's a nice texture. If I'm making 100 gallons of ice today, I'm going to pull it at this texture and let the freezer do the rest of the work. I'm going to let it go just a tiny bit longer to give you a little thicker product, but that looks beautiful. So that was actually 12 minutes. So, almost ready. Oh, here. We'll give it to you in squeeze cups this time. Now remember, you squeeze it up from the bottom. Don't ask for a spoon. We're not going to give you one. You squeeze it up from the bottom and eat it like that. I'll show you. It's not that hard, folks. There, see? Eat it like that. That's too good to give away, too. That is good. Okay, we're ready. So I'm going to take out the tub for the investors, which is my wife and my brother-in-law. You don't think I'm going to let it out of the family, do you? And watch this. This is a real key to an Emery Thompson. It's just how fast you get that product out. That's what's going to give you your consistency. Just give that back. That's mine. You can have this one.
Okay.
Isn't that simple? That's all there is. I'm going to just get in here, Taurus. Thank you.
So, Steve, some days go about 6-7 hours, depending on how it's temperature.
Yes, that's been my experience, which means you'll go through it before it gets warm. And they come in black or white. They also sell a domed lid for it. Don't buy the domed lid, because then you can't stack them in your freezer because it's a domed lid. So just put a piece of aluminum foil over it or something. But that does a nice job. And folks, don't ask me where to buy it. You can buy it at any restaurant supply house. It's called a 3-gallon ice cream
You can have
server
20,
by
I don't care.
Carlisle. Yes.
So, in technicality, you can probably buy several of them. Like if you're doing an event at a park, you can buy several of these and a couple of coolers and stick them in the coolers, right?
Yeah. Yeah, very easy, very primitive.
And how long does that keep the ice?
About 3-4 hours.
Steve, I have a quick question. So, Italian ice, just the consistency is custard? Or is this considered custard?
Custard's a dairy product.
So what is this one called? Because this is, he said it was Italian.
That's ice cream.
Ice cream.
That's
Okay,
ice cream.
I just wrote down Italian ice. Okay, so
No.
this is just basic ice cream.
That's ice cream.
Okay.
Huh? Okay. This is good. You'll have to try it.
Which one is it? So
This is the new cherry.
Cherry,
Just put cherry ice. Good stuff, huh?
Yeah. Better than the last one.
Much better. Doesn't have it.
You know why?
No chemical taste.
That's right. How did you know?
Because I could taste some maraschino cherry.
That's what I told Mike.
It had
last
bad
time.
aftertaste.
Yeah.
What kind of cherries are these, Steve?
These are just store-bought black cherries.
They're black cherries.
Yeah.
And I use those also. They're in Publix or any supermarket. They're frozen in bags, and frozen means that it's the same cherry you'll buy
That's
next
for you
month
guys to
and
eat?
the month after
Right
that.
now?
And that's going to go.
Isn't that good?
I'm done.
Keep experimenting.
You could. Oh, I'm going to have a whole repertoire in no time. I already do, but now I'm upping my game. I'm making them just that much better. And I'll give you all the formulas. This is the kind of thing you do in a foreign country, and you could sell it for 50 cents, and you're making a 45-cent profit. That's incredible. And so you're making your money on the volume, and you're giving something to people that everybody can afford it. You can't afford ice cream, especially in a foreign country. It's all got to, the ingredients have to travel too far.
I was telling Chris yesterday, I paid the most I ever paid for ice cream in a mall. One scoop of ice cream was $3. Oh, just a little thing.
Yeah.
And I got 2 scoops of it. They charged me like $6. And I'm going, Steve knew about this.
Yeah, well, they saw you coming, rich American.
So we're in a high scale mall,
Yeah.
Everybody does one. So
Yeah.
it was definitely good.
All right.
Who was the book guy? You? Okay.
Yes.
Are you opening a Stefano
What?
ice store?
No, I'm going to do wholesale only.
Cherry pick.
Stefano's Brooklyn Ice. Because, like I said, everybody's got to ship it down. If they don't have my machine, they have to ship it down from the north. And the shipping cost is $40. But I can sell this tub. The going rate in New York when I left New York 15 years ago was $12. I can now get $40 for this. And that would be if it was a cheap ice. I'm going to make a great ice, this stuff, for $40. And as you saw on the sheet, you're going to make $255 profit off it, just selling it at a really relatively low price. So it's incredible. The profit margins are unbelievable. And I'm sorry?
Competition?
That's okay. There's plenty of room.
Yeah, I love it because it's all prosperity. There's 7 billion people in the
Yeah,
world.
there's plenty of room.
And it's a $12.4 billion industry.
One thing, well, I'll let Jeff in 1 second. One last thing about Italian Ice. If you did have a push cart, and that's how we start a lot of people. This is how we start people, is with a push cart and individual business. A typical example is a guy called up a year later after I put him into business. He said, it went so well, I'm going out and buying 10 push carts this winter, and I'm going to have 10 of them out at different events. And being a snide New Yorker that I am, I said, oh, really? So now you're getting out of the ISIS business and you're going into the push cart repair business. Mm-hmm. And your wife is going into become an accountant to run the QuickBooks on 10 employees. Mm-hmm. And you got to worry about the employees who are coming in and say, well, gee, boss, I know you said that there were 92 portions in that tub, but I only got 56 today. He's leaning sideways with your money in his pocket. People are going to come up to you with your push cart, you know, like the old expression about the lottery, $1 in a dream. They're going to come up to you and say, gee, I wish I could do that. And your first answer is going to be the absolute lie. Oh, no, you can't do that. These recipes came from my great-great-grandfather from Genoa, Italy, and he passed them down from generation to generation. No, it was this, you know, white guy from New Rochelle, New York, who is Presbyterian, has never been to Italy, and is making ices and selling Italian ices. So the first one's a lie. The second one is the truth. Oh, yeah, you can do it, but you got to buy $1,000 worth of ice, and you've got to take delivery of it, and it's going to be all this room just to freeze it, and you don't have the money for it. The third answer is, here's a person who wants to get into the business. You can help support their family, and I guarantee you follow this, you'll have 20 people that you're supporting in less than a year. You say to them, you want my ice? I'll tell you what. Instead of you buying wholesale this $1,000 worth of ice, you call me on Tuesday and you tell me how many tubs of lemon and mango and any other flavor you want of Italian ice. You tell me what you want, and you come on Friday afternoon after 4 o'clock, and I'll have it ready for you as much as you want. We're going to freeze it down to 30 below in a special freezer, so it's rock hard, or even 10 below in the chest freezer. We're going to freeze it rock hard, and we're going to put it into your igloo cooler, you know, those big ones that you can put a whole tarpon in. We're going to put those tubs in your cooler. You're going to drive it 20 miles home to your chest freezer, and this weekend you're going to go out with your push cart that you bought for $1,500, and you're your own businessman. So, and we're going to charge you $40 cash. No credit cards, no checks, no open account, no broken promises, just $40, and we'll sell you all the ice you want. And no minimum, no maximum, anything. And you will have 20 people buying from you. You're going to be a mini Little Jimmy's. You're going to be a mini wholesaler in your 25-mile radius. You're helping out 20 different families be in the ices business. And if you want to keep up with your push cart, that's fine. But you're going to make more money staying at home and making that ices and selling it to other people. And the trick is you let them come to you. The Ices King of Corona was an old friend of mine, Peter Benferrimo, and he was over near LaGuardia Airport. He had this massive wholesale business, and not one drop of it was ever wholesale. He had a freestanding building. He hired little old Italian ladies who couldn't speak English until you tried to cheat them, and then it flew out like a drunken sailor. It was embarrassing. Everybody tried to cheat him just because they wanted to hear him get mad. But Peter would say, oh, okay, you own La Guigné restaurant? Fine, I'll sell you my mango sorbet, fancy name for Italian ice. But you got to come pick it up. And by them picking it up, it's like this. I walk up to Jeff's stand and I buy a cherry ice, and that's $3. It's a $2.50. That's a retail sale. I buy it, I walk, we're done. My wife Paula comes up. She's got a pizza parlor down the street, let's say, and she buys 6 tubs from Jeff, and she puts them in her car by herself and drives off to her house and sells it over the weekend. That's still a retail sale because he didn't deliver it. And because he didn't deliver it, he doesn't have to run a Department of Transportation truck. He doesn't have to keep a logbook for the driver. All these different hassles go away because you picked it up. And that's the level you want to keep at until you get really greedy, and then you go out and buy a truck and it's like, should have listened to Steve. But it's that simple. You can control the growth of it. You started with one push cart, and you can expand out as much as you want because the demand for Italian ices is that big. if you make a same principle as Jeff's, you make it great, and they will come. And that's how to expand the business. It couldn't be simpler. Yes?
Basically $40 for 3 gallons?
Yeah. Or 2.5. 2.5 is what they're selling for $3, $40. And I checked. That's the going rate up in New York and up and down the East Coast. $40, and it's going to cost you $9 to make it the way I did it today, all fresh. And you know what? I'll bet you I can get that $9 down to $7.50 when I start buying in larger volumes. I just went to Publix, not the cheapest supermarket in the country, and just bought it off the shelf. If I'd bought at Walmart, same stuff probably would have been a little less. If I bought a 55-gallon drum of those cherries, I'll bet the price would go way down. So I can control the price down. But I mean, how greedy do I have to get? I mean, I'm making $30 on a $9 tub. I'm making $31 on a $9 tub. I'm finished. We'll get one more flavor in, and then we'll have lunch.
We make $55 on a gallon of ice cream.
Pretty amazing, huh?
So we're going to make, all right, there's ices. Steve's made ices. I made ice cream. Now we're going to investigate the middle ground, cream ice, also called sherbet. The universal formula for cream ice is 3-2-1. 3 quarts of water, 2 pounds of sugar, 1 quart of mix. You can make anything if you start with that, and it'll be cream ice. A friend of mine owns what I think has got to be the most successful cream ice business in the world down in South Florida. 150 flavors every day of cream ice, just cream ice. He's got 2 Emery 24s in his back room, and he can't keep up. Lines every night, about 900 square feet. And what you get when you order your cream ice from now he's got a digital menu board because he keeps changing flavors, but it just used to be written up there. And what you get if you want chocolate chip brownie cream ice, takes a Dixie cup, water, those coated waxy Dixie cups, boom, 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 plastic spoon, out the door. All day long. Fantastically successful. So we're going to make cream ice. What's the problem with cream ice? The problem with cream ice, why doesn't everybody do it? If you put a sign outside your window that says Fred's Cream Ice, you won't have customer 1. What the hell is cream ice? Doesn't sound like something I want to partake in. So he didn't do that. He was smarter. He called his place Cecily's Gourmet Italian Ices. They're not Italian ices, but he was smart. This is 15 years he's in business. He was smart enough to know that the public will recognize, a segment of the public will recognize Italian ices, but nobody wants any part of cream ice. And if you put sherbet, the perceived value of your product goes way down. All right, so 3 quarts of water. And remember, you can make any cream ice this way, 3-2-1. So we'll put in 3 quarts of water, or thereabouts. Another little tip, this is about a 20-cent tip. It's not worth very much. When you're filling, measuring, either measuring cups or these graduated measuring Cambro containers, you see this all the time. People are, you know this, right? People are filling them like this because they're looking here. Well, and the same thing with this. Simply turn it around. Now when you fill it, you're looking right there.
Oh, gee. I've been doing that for years, and I didn't know that trick.
Hey.
Oh, I got to go back and start over.
Well, take my class.
Yeah, buy your course.
So we have 3 quarts of water, and we'll turn it on because we're going to mix some sugar into it. How many RPMs?
234. Oh, sorry. I wrote it. 234.
Okay, 234. We'll add how much sugar?
2 pounds.
2 pounds of sugar, because it's 3-2-1. And when you know this formula, the sky's the limit. Then it's just waking up at 3:30 with a pad by your bed and thinking up a great flavor.
Ew.
Oh, it's good.
No, the key word was great flavor. And now we'll add 1 quart of mix. Now, this is where, remember, profit, art, fun. That's why we're in this business. The art is, let's say you want your cream ice a little creamier. So what would you add? A little more mix. But I think in all my years, the 3-2-1 works pretty well. But of course, we're going to taste it somewhat through. Now what we're making, now we have the basis in there to make any flavor. We could literally take a jar of peanut butter, throw it in, and have peanut butter cream ice. And anything you can think of. But today we're going to make cherry amaretto. Woo. I tried this a few weeks ago, and we literally can't keep it in stock. It's that popular. So we'll put in some amaretto, just a touch. And then we'll put in some Torani cherry flavor, which is what they use on cappuccino bars. We have a coffee bar in our store, and we use all Torani flavors to flavor the coffees. And this is what I like. It's very good. $5. $5.
Is that like a grenadine?
No, it's like cherry. $5. I mean, are we making money or what? Jeez. So we'll put a little of this in. We'll see what we got. Just enough for a little flavor. And that's it. After the 3-2-1, we put in 2 things. Now, could we make cherry amaretto chip? Yeah, what do we add? Chocolate chips. Could we make cherry berry amaretto? Sure, throw some of those cherries in it that Steve just used. So keep a notepad on the side of your bed, because you're going to have a dream about blue corn ice cream or something.
I can't say as I've
Yes,
ever
sir.
dreamed about blue corn.
How much mix was in that? That was like about 2 cups.
3-2-1.
So it's a pound.
Mix.
Pound of mix.
Mix. Liquid. 3-2-1. 1 what?
Was it 2 cups?
1 quart. 1 quart. 3 quarts of water. 2 pounds of sugar. 1 quart of mix. Now, my machine is twice as large. I have the 24 quart, which you'll have. So what would I use? Wait, hold it, don't answer. What would I use in my machine?
6 quarts of water, 4 pounds of sugar, and 2 quarts of...
Got it, got it. And then anything else you want. Now it's time to taste it. We added some amaretto, we added some cherry. Let's see what we got. You're going to freak. This is that good. Cherry amaretto. It's just ridiculous. Hold on 1 second. Let me come over there. Yes, sir.
So you asked what was the cycling per minute? And you said 220?
Yeah, but it only applies to my machine. It doesn't apply to any other machine on the market. It's what we have designed into the machine. So the speed doesn't mean anything. The speed, though, it's up on the screen. It'll say cream ice. You just push that button, and it'll take you to the proper speed. Yeah, you can't go out and buy a Cappuccini and say, I want to run at 234 and get the same product. You will not get it.
Right.
So I mean, I saw him adjusting the speed. Is that going to make a difference?
It depends on what he left it at, but it's so simple. It's just right on the screen. Italian ice, cream ice, sorbet, sorbetto, homemade ice cream, super premium ice cream, gelato, frozen custard, dairy-free ice cream. They're all there. You just pick a button,
My
and that'll
machine
take you
doesn't
there.
have
No,
the
no
bit
thinking
overlap.
whatsoever.
So I'm
It's
a
the only
dinosaur.
machine in the world that has that, that can do that. Yes?
This recipe is only 3/4 of what you can make with this same recipe for 350, right?
And how would you do it?
Well, that's my question. If that whole
It's still 3-2-1. You could you've got
Italian
3 quarts of water, 1 quart of mix, so you got 4 quarts of liquid in there already, and the pound of sugar. So I've got my 4 quarts. I'm not worried about it. This will work in that machine perfectly. But if you had a 44 quart machine, big world's largest production batch freezer, it's still, that's what Jeff was trying to say, it's still 3-2-1. But your 3 is now not 1 quart, it might be 4 quarts, and then 2 pounds of sugar and 1 and the mix. Still 3-2-1, just bigger volumes. That's what I was saying.
I publish a book, and really all you need, I give you multiple amounts in it, but really all you need is 1, and that's for any of them. Let's say it's the 24 quart, and I use 10 quarts of mix, and you have a 6 quart machine. How many quarts of mix would you use? Okay, here's the deal. A 24 quart machine, see he's got 20, I have 24, that's 12, that's 6. Okay, they're all divisible by 6. So if I put my formulas for a 24 quart machine and you have a 6 quart machine, you have to simply take a quarter of that, right? You divide by 4. Even she knows that, right? And if you have a 12 quart machine, you divide it in half, because I have a 24 quart machine, or I base it on a 24 quart machine. So therefore, if I use 10 quarts of mix, 1 full bladder, you'll use, in a 6 quart machine, you'll use 2.5, 2.5 quarts, right?
Right. So all the recipes in your book are based on the 24 quart?
No, in the book it has the different ones.
Oh, it does. Okay.
Yeah.
And that makes it easy.
Too easy. That's why the kit that I now have, which is my whole 2-day boot camp in a box. It's got 10 hours of DVDs, workbooks, recipe books, 100 recipe cards, including all my adult flavors, plus a diploma. It's got everything in it. A card file, everything. Anyway, that is all 10 quart, based on a 24 quart machine. But it's simple because, and I did it intentionally, I want you to think a little. I want you to think, because as soon as everybody thinks for you, you lose focus. Okay, so cherry amaretto cream ice, or as we call it in the store, we don't use the words cream ice. In the store, it's called cherry amaretto freeze. Catchy. And selling the hell out of it. I just experimented one day, and there it was, cherry amaretto freeze.
How many adult flavors?
How many what?
Adult flavors.
How many flavors?
Adult flavors.
About 20 adult, 20 regular at any given time. In the kit, there's 50 of each. In the book, there's none. One second. Oh, man. Yes?
In making those adult flavors, you need some sort of special license?
No.
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 You don't need some sort of liquor license?
No, the phrase is, it's an ingredient within your food. We don't pour. We don't add on to top of ice cream, but it's an ingredient in our ice cream.
But if you package them to resell, like if they want to
I don't get involved in
store,
that.
then to package it, then we got to get the license, the $4,000 one.
What?
Well, if you're in Florida.
What?
If you're gonna package it and resell it, then it would be, like Snowball, they're in public, they're doing it. Just saying. It's an industry. No skinny why?
What's that? Well, what do you mean as normal? You can't freeze alcohol. But 10 years ago, I came up with a process where I can suspend it, and it will give the outward appearance of being frozen, but it's really not. Frozen is absorbed. I suspend it. And you didn't see anything special here, but it was done. This is going to blow your mind. This is the most delicious thing you're ever going to have. I guarantee it.
Is there any regulation for serving alcohol?
Okay, let's get, are you done?
Oh, he asked me a question.
Okay, why don't you come up here?
No, he didn't ask me. I'm sorry.
Straighten your name tag so we know who we're dealing with here. Okay.
I apologize.
Let's understand something. I've been doing this show for 7 years now, 6, 7 years, and I have never used alcohol except for today. And what you should understand and not be fearful of are the word he just used, regulations. Forget it. Now, I have people on the Facebook page, and I'm probably going to get in trouble for this, but they try to put the cart before the horse. Call up the city, call up the federal offices, call up the DEA, and understand what I have to do, get permission. Enough said? Okay. What do you see the color of this? This is good. Even Kevin, even Kevin's going to get a bunch of this. This is good. You'll like it.
I guess that was my question, though, you said.
What's your question?
You serve this in your store?
What?
You serve this in your store?
Do I serve it in my store?
Can't keep it in the
Bought me 3 cars and a beach house.
This Amaretto.
Yeah. How long have I been doing it?
So do you ask for ID when you know the kid comes?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Over 21.
Okay. That was my question.
We're going to need spoons. Does anybody see spoons anywhere?
To beat a dead horse, if somebody walked into...
Do me a favor, Patricia, stand up.
No, no.
Come on, stand up. Patricia, stand up.
Sorry, I'm not
It has nothing to do with this. Okay. Do me a favor, go get some spoons. Ask the girls where the spoons are, because we're almost ready. Too bad you had a free book.
Oh, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. It's okay. I won't ask any more questions.
No, I want you to ask questions. All but 2 of them have been good.
All right, so then...
Let me know when you're able to receive the question, and I will. If not,
Oh,
I'll
I'm
be
here.
quiet.
Bounce it off me,
If
hon.
not, I'll be quiet.
Go ahead.
So basically, just to beat a dead horse, if we have a brick and mortar, someone walks in from the health department or whatever regulation place and says, what are these adult flavors doing here? What do we say? That they're just ingredients?
What you say is very simple. Try one. Would your wife like some? I'll package it up for you.
If they say you're not supposed to have them.
See, she's the one on the Facebook page.
No, I'm not. No,
How long do we
just-
fluff that for?
Yeah, I just want to make sure because it's, I don't want to be fined if you can answer the question,
Let's say, what's the worst case scenario?
I just said it.
You live in a communist country, what's the worst case scenario? They come and they do what?
Close your shop for a day.
They don't close your shop.
That's what I'm asking, so
No, they
that's
won't.
not an option.
What would be the worst case scenario? You can't sell that.
Okay, so that's good to know.
Okay,
Everybody knows.
and then you sell it.
No, and then the excise police bring it back.
It's America, babe. This is America. Land of the free, home of the Steve.
Okay.
I have students all over the world from my class, graduated this class that I do, and I would say unless they're Mormons in Utah, because that's a separate deal, unless they all have at least one, and the one they have is Bailey's. Yes, sir.
So say you're mixing like alcohol with your products, would you not make a regular product after that? Would it like something get into your regular product?
No.
I don't want to sell.
No. Okay, I think we're ready. Beautiful color, isn't it? Pale pink. Ah, thanks. I couldn't find them. Where were they?
I hit them.
Ah. Okay, we ready? Steve, I want you to try this.
Yeah, I want to take a small sample out too. Hold on. Let me get a tub.
What do you want?
Can someone hand me if there's a small tub back there? There aren't. I'm sorry, I'll get some. Are those the little ones? Yeah, I just need one. Yeah. That's great. Thank you. I can't try it, it's got alcohol. Thank you.
Okay, should we try it? Methinks you'll like it. Did you try it? Try it. Take a spoon.
I can't. It's got alcohol.
A little taste is gonna.
Nope.
Okay.
Come on up. Come on.
Just a little for Mike.
Yes, sir.
I got it. Perfect stand. You were standing in the perfect place.
Oh, good.
Sure. So would you serve gelati with the ice? Like, how do you do it?
Gelati is a made-up name. It used to be known as a parfait, which was a fluted glass. Let me show you one.
Oh, stop.
I think Jeff moved it. Oop, can't find it.
Steve, I never knew the made-up name.
Yeah. So gelati is a made-up name, and it's just a common. It used to be a parfait, which was a tall fluted glass, and you would put the way they're doing it in a lot of stores is a big waste of money. You have to buy a soft ice cream machine for about $27,000, $30,000. They are impossible to clean. It's a garbage product, and it melts fast. And all it is vanilla. So if you want to make a great gelati, what they're doing is they're scooping some cherry ice, and then they're putting some soft ice cream. Cherry ice, 2 motions, soft ice cream. Why bother with this soft ice cream machine when you can come in at 8 o'clock in the morning, make a tub of vanilla, and have it in a separate freezer? Instead of a $30,000 soft serve machine, you got a $1,500 freezer or less, and you got your ice over here. And so you scoop the cherry ice, scoop the vanilla, scoop the cherry, scoop the vanilla. It will be a much higher quality vanilla than a soft serve. That's the garbage of the industry. And it will be thicker, so it won't melt as fast, and a lot more flavorful. And what if I don't want vanilla? Well, maybe I want to make mint chip, or maybe I want to make Cookie Monster. I can make any flavor I want in ice cream to make that gelati. Yeah, and far better. Save yourself the money. There are thousands and thousands of soft serve machines for sale on the used market, because after people buy it, think it's a great idea, they absolutely hate them. It takes an hour to clean after you close. If you close at 11 tonight, you're there till midnight because of that machine. It's awful. So, a soft ice cream machine. So don't do it. I was saying that if you're going to make what they call a gelati or a parfait, just make some homemade vanilla ice cream or any flavor you want. It's not. It has nothing to do with it. It's a made-up name. My customer Rita's made it up, and it means absolutely nothing. Gelato is G-E-L-A-T-O, and that's an Italian ice cream. Gelati is just an I at the end, and it's made up.
Hey, what happened? I thought I'd make spatula amaretto cherry. I thought I'd make
Don't touch
spatula
the
amaretto
controls.
cherry.
Jeez. What'd you do to my machine? Look at that.
Now we can show them.
This is when I say to people, don't worry, it's an Emery Thompson, just call us, we'll take care of it. And under my breath you go, you dope. Jeez. How many years have you been running this thing? He did. He absolutely did. He's
Give
just
me
trying
that spatula.
He's just trying to, it doesn't even chip.
It didn't even break.
Oh, hell no.
Oh my God, this is delicious.
Man. Mine didn't catch.
It didn't?
No. This push for. Well, we're going to have to rinse out anyway. There we go.
Thank you. Sorry.
It's perfect. All right. Now, just to show you that he didn't break the machine, though I'll find a way to bill him, let's just turn it back on. Smooth as silk. You can hear nothing wrong. Dope.
Wait, let me get the rest out.
My father used to say, "You bonehead."
That's why I don't have this on mine.
Yeah.
Because it comes right out.
Me too. That was perfect.
All right, so
All right,
Now
we're
you
going
can
to do
do
a
it.
Q&A.
Okay.
All right.
Steve,
Yes.
quick question.
Hold it for 1 second. We're gonna get into comfortable chairs and answer questions.
So that was pretty refreshing, isn't
This
it?
is delicious.
Yeah. Yes.
For real, like this is incredible.
What is the difference between the adult beverage, the adult ice cream and say vanilla ice cream? Vanilla, if you use the true stuff, is 35% alcohol in that bottle.
But you're only using about 4 ounces
teaspoon,
to
yeah.
5 gallons. It's quantity.
Is it necessary to advertise that it is a
No.
an adult?
No.
Yes.
It's
in my
not,
store,
not
yes.
vanilla.
We have to card people if they're too young. You have to be
Well, not
21
for-
or older.
not for vanilla.
That's why we made the announcement for
See,
here.
there are a lot of questions about alcohol, and I know Jeff made it sound simple, but the best thing to do is just ignore it for the most part, because
Make sure Paula tries
if
that.
you go to a pastry
It is-
shop, any good Italian pastry
Whoa.
shop, they're selling baba rum, which is a pastry that is soaked in rum, and they get away with it. It's an ingredient. New York, different states have different amounts of alcohol that you can put into a product and still be legal. And they're very high. I mean, they sound low. You know, they might say, 8% by volume. Well, what's the volume? If the volume is 10 gallons, what's 8%? It's next to nothing. And you have any inspector come in and say, how much alcohol is in your ice cream? You say, well, it's you find out what the state law is. It's 3.2% by volume, and he doesn't even know what by volume means. So it's a real gray area. As Jeff said, it sounded very abrupt, but it's very true. Sometimes in life, you just do it, and you obviously do the obvious. If you're going to sell alcohol ice creams,
adult
ice cream, you notify people. There's 2 problems with alcohol ice cream, and they can be solved. One is the signage. Now, not in Jeff's place, but in most places, if you're a regular ice cream parlor and then decide you're going to put in alcohol, it's going to cost you more. And you got the problem of you don't want somebody's 16-year-old who comes in, he's 6'4" already, and he goes, "Hi, I'd like some of that rum raisin ice cream. Let's see your card." Oh, I left it in my car. I'll be back. That gets rid of him. You put up a sign that, if you had to, you put up a sign that says, adults only ice cream. You must be 21 years of age to buy these flavors.
And we have that.
And then you can card them. And it's that simple. But the health departments just have no clue. And when you mention, well, what about a pastry shop? They just lose their mind because they don't know what to do. Because a lot of pastries have alcohol in them.
Now, will an Italian restaurant sell veal marsala to a
loaded.
6-year-old?
Loaded with alcohol.
To a 6-year-old? Of course they will.
Yeah.
All day long.
Yeah. So it's a gray area. But
and let me just say this. Just understand what you're doing. You're not trying to put anything over on anybody. You're not trying to get people drunk. Right. It's really an accommodation. Right. When an adult comes in and they order an adult ice cream in my store, yeah, they get a buzz. 10 minutes, because we serve a large portion, they get a buzz, and you can spot it. 10 minutes later, they're happy at the table, they're laughing. They're not falling over drunk. Don't forget, the alcohol that you're going to use are mainly liqueurs. Liqueurs have a very low percentage of alcohol in it. It's really flavor. Do you taste that amaretto flavor?
Yeah.
It's delicious, but it's strong. Kahlua, strong. Black raspberry liqueur, strong. And not a high percentage of alcohol. So your goal is not like a bar where come on and get high and have some ice cream. Your goal is, you know what it is? When pot becomes recreationally legal and you put it in ice cream, and I'll be the first one to do it.
We did some in ice pops.
When you put it in ice cream, people aren't going to be, it's not going to look like an acid trip in your store. It's just a mild little thing. The amount we use is so little, it's enough to get a buzz, but not enough to get you anywhere near drunk.
Right. Counterpoint. Now, here's the other side of the coin. Jeff's place is catering to adults. He's on the edge of one of the largest retirement places in the country. And just a little made-up story, it's wonderful. You know, they're having dinner, the husband and wife are having dinner at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. They're old, and they're having dinner at 4 o'clock. And the wife says to the husband usually, now, you're cut off. You can have 2 glasses of wine, then you're cut off. And he grumbles and eats his dinner. And then about 7:30 at night, he says, hey, honey, let's go over to Jeff's place and get some ice cream. Because they know there's some rum in the rum raisin and bourbon in the bourbon vanilla. And they're both kind of, you know, just laughing it off that they can, you know, still have a drink at, you know, 9 o'clock at night. Here's my concern with CBD, and I'm going to be the only voice on this, CBD and alcohol. I find them both just fine if that's what you want to do in your business model. But in my business model, and Jeff's is pretty much an adults-only business. He doesn't have a lot of small kids running around. They're welcome to come, they just can't come in, is what I do. They just have to stay in the parking lot with the windows rolled up.
With the rabid dogs.
Cut that. Flag the tape. What I look at ice cream as is it's a family treat. You take the family out on Friday night to go get ice cream. And I don't want mom being concerned that her 5-year-old, whether CBD has no effect or hallucinogenic effect or whatever you want to call it, whatsoever, so they say, I don't know. I don't want in my ice cream to give to my kids. I want to keep that family-centered business. You're not going to sell cigarettes. In the old days when we sold cigarettes everywhere, we still didn't sell cigarettes in ice cream parlors. We want to keep a family image for the vast bulk of the businesses that you're going to do. If you're going to open up on the Strip in Las Vegas, hey, have at it. You know, serve all the different things you want because that's what your market's not going to be. You're not going to see a bunch of little kids coming in on the Strip in Vegas. But if you're going to be a family business, you've got to keep a family reputation because maybe dad will kind of just shrug his shoulders, but mom's going to say, no, I don't want my kids exposed to this at this time. You know, when they get older, let them decide for themselves. And I think that's a real problem. I think it's a real question. You know, maybe you're making a little short-term profit and you're getting a little bit of boost in sales, but you know, Jeff's been in business for a long time now. And he's not in business a long time because he's doing some ice creams that might have alcohol in them. He's doing it because he's making an incredible ice cream. He's got a reputation for the ice cream. People don't say, I can't wait to go to Jeff's because of the rum and the rum raisin, or that the raisins were soaked in rum. They come because the ice cream is spectacular. So look at the long picture.
And the environment. I believe that whatever
fun.
store you open up has to be an interesting destination. Because remember, that door got to go open and close, and the person who comes in Monday better darn well be back by Thursday. That's what you need. And that's what I've tried to build. My model for an ice cream store is a hangout. I want people to come and feel relaxed. We have music playing. We have different events a couple of nights a week. We even have a small dance floor with a stage. I want people to come in and hang out and feel comfortable. And a lot of them do order the adult flavors because they sit with a bunch of their friends and they just let their hair down. Their white hair. They come and have a great time. And that's what I want.
It's a nightclub that sells ice cream. and it's very unique within the country, and that's why he does so well. Is he's not going to franchise it, all over the world. He might like to, but
and yet
unique.
all of my students, all of the graduates of this class I teach, they all follow the model. They don't. My place is filled with '60s memorabilia, Beatles, and stuff like that. The other guy, who just was named best ice cream along the whole beach in Daytona and New Smyrna, surfboards. He put surfboards on the wall because that's what his $13,000 investment necessitated. And I got to tell you, you can open a store for under 15. Key, open, under 15. Making money 3 days later.
Themes are fun. Leopold's in Savannah is a theme ice cream parlor. And Stratton Leopold is a top movie producer. All the action movies,
got great stuff.
All the action movies are him and produced by him. And so in his ice cream parlor, he's got old, big, reel-to-reel Panavision cameras. In the bathrooms, he's got a light. When you turn on the light in the bathroom, there's a light outside the bathroom that's red and it says quiet on the set, and just fun, and posters of different actors. He does all the Tom Cruise movies. Themes are fun, and a theme doesn't even have to be surfboards. It could be, we did one called Davis and Whiteford Designer Ice Cream. Well, that's kind of a strange name, but it was in Darien, Connecticut, which is extremely wealthy, and everything is all very, heavy, maple and mahogany and the whole works, and so it fit right in with what that town was. It amazes me.
It could be anything. It could be video games, basketball, opera, NASCAR, whatever your interest is. Go for it.
One guy liked train sets that I did.
That's perfect.
And he had trains running around the
Yeah,
top. It was
great.
cool.
Anything. Make it interesting, that's all.
How about some frozen dessert questions? Nobody? Crickets? Of course, yes.
You know what? I'm brave enough.
I told you she was
I'm
coming.
brave enough to ask the question. I don't care. Laugh at the nut. That's going to make tons of money whenever I open.
We know you
whatever. So I have the concession trailers. So can I use the adult flavors in concession trailers?
I don't know.
Oh.
It probably wouldn't change anything.
So it wouldn't change anything?
I think you've got a better shot at it because you don't have a lot of kids coming up to nowadays concession trailers, unless you're, Mr. Softy or something, and you got the little bells jingling. But if you're in there with other concession trailers serving food, that's more of an adult thing.
As long as I have signage, I think I should be okay.
That's an adult theme.
Signage.
And the worst they can do is tell you stop.
Yeah, and also that's right. Remember, this is a journey. This whole process that you're sitting here for, this is step one. I sat here, remember?
Yeah.
I sat back there where Steve is sitting. The very first, my total first introduction to ice cream was 10 years ago in that seat back there. And I took the same class that, it was called Lunch with the President at the time. Steve talked about everything. He made ice cream. The first ice cream he made was, I'll never forget it, it was Merlot. And I tasted it, and it was vile. And it's a true story, and I went outside, I called my wife, and I said, we're going to be rich. If this guy can make that and sell it, we can do much better.
Yeah, what he said was, if that idiot Steve Thompson can do this, imagine what I could do.
Well, close. But that's a true story.
I used to use the classes as a proving ground for new flavors.
And the reason I was concerned is because I have a partner, and he's the one that's writing in the Facebook page. I'm the one saying, come on, coquito. Puerto Ricans will eat that up. I make coquito for my friends every year, but I want to make it in an ice cream. And we can get it in Puerto Rico, but not here. So,
We had in the Bronx, he was a good friend of ours, Coco Helados, and his name was Arthur Tybaud, and he employed over 200 people with little push carts. Any flavor you wanted, as long as it was coconut.
Yeah.
And when Rudy Giuliani came in and became mayor, he said, we're going to clean up this town. We're only going to let people have 3 permits. And Arthur had 200 people out there with little push carts. He got an appointment with Rudy Giuliani in the first week and said, sir, if you don't give me my 300 permits, we're not Lexington Avenue and 5th. if you don't give me my permits for the Bronx, you're going to have 200 people on welfare tomorrow.
Beautiful.
And Rudy was a very smart man. He said, here's your permits, go for it. Any flavor you want as long as it was coconut.
Yeah.
And
All right.
what a big business.
Jerry, what do you think?
I think I'm excited about getting started.
Boy, that's the best answer I've heard all day. That's what I want. Let me tell you something. I'm going to espouse for a minute.
Please do. That's what we get paid for.
10 years ago, I didn't have very much, and I took this class, and I bought a CB350, a small machine, and I started in business, and it's life-changing. I know you don't think selling a $5 ice cream can be life-changing, but it's life-changing. We see 200 people a night now, and we're open 4 hours. That's it. 4 hours. We open at 6 o'clock, we close at 10 o'clock, 6 nights a week. That's it. And I got to tell you, it took me 6 years to make $1 million, and now it'll probably take 4 to make the second million. It's ludicrous. This is stupid money. And if you all don't have a store within 4 months, you're missing the boat. Not just for you, but for your family, your kids, your relatives. This is life-changing. $5 ice cream. Who would have believed it? It's nuts. So get on the board. Do it.
And on the Italian ice, same thing, lesser cost, and you could do it with a push cart. You could do it with a trailer behind your car. There's a lot of ways you could sell Italian ice, but you'll be able to expand the business, like I said. And there's gratification in making a lot of money. There's even better gratification in being able to say, there are 20 families out there right now that are making money because of me.
Right.
And you hear, we're never going to be in that caliber, but when you hear about some of these billionaires who say, "Oh, I don't work for the money. I work for the job." What they mean is they have enough money, but they just enjoy the fact that they've got a little piece of knowledge that they can pass on, so that anybody can go do this and make money. The American dream. And on top of it, any of you with children or grandchildren, everything that Jeff does is what I have to do, and everything I have to do is what General Foods has to do. You learn in the little business with just a push cart. You're going to learn how to use QuickBooks. You're going to learn purchasing. You're going to learn pricing. You're going to learn customer service. You're going to learn inventory control. All this stuff, and you can teach it to someone else, a relative like I do that you want to keep far away, or you can do it with a family member. You can teach your kids, and they may not stay. If you're in Rochester, New York, they may say, "Hey, I love your business, but I don't want to stay in Rochester. I'm going down to the Bahamas." They can take all that information and copy what you did, and they'll be successful. It's going to be very hard going future for our children and grandchildren to hold a job in large corporations, because nobody stays more than 2 years. Everything's a stepping stone, and if you get too expensive, they fire you anyway. This way, you've got a business that you can make a real good income for yourself, and you can pass it on to other people. It's fun. You wake up in the morning and you're happy to go to work. I mean, you can be in the worst mood in the world until you walk into an ice cream parlor. I guarantee you're walking out in a good mood.
Right.
I mean, you got a big mint chip in your hand. Instead of a chip on your shoulder, you got a mint chip in your hand. I got to use that as a slogan. That's cool.
At 3:30 today, I'm getting root canal.
Yippee!
But hell, oh yes they are. But hell, I'm happy now. We're making ice cream. We're turning people around. Are you all excited about getting into this business? It's stupid profit, I got to tell you. Yes.
I have several questions on several different topics.
Uh-oh.
All right, so the first one I'm going to go at is, do I need to be a certified food protection manager making ice cream?
Yes.
Okay.
What he's referring to, where do you live? What state?
Florida.
Yeah, in Florida, as I'm sure it's almost federal, there are 2 certificates that they're not required, they're suggested. Did you know that?
No.
Yeah.
This is only Florida.
One is a food handlers class, and you get a certificate. It's about a 2-hour test, and you get a manual, you study for it. It's not easy because it doesn't cover just ice cream. It's universal. It covers the temperature of chicken, how do you store pork, chicken, and beef, and eggs in a freezer. It's all that stuff. The lumens in your lights. It's very far-reaching. But most of you seem fairly intelligent, and you can do it. I did it, and I'm no whiz. The second one is a food manager's course. Now, the state suggests that everybody who handles your product should have a food handler's course certificate, and that the overseer should have a food manager's certificate, and that person should be there all the time overseeing the operation. Well, this is ludicrous. This doesn't happen in the real world. It's not structured like that. But it's good to have the employees take it because it's pretty cool. It's a cool course. Now, they make a prep course for it. I didn't know this. I went to take the test, and I get there, and I open the door, and there's 25 people there with an instructor at the front. I close the door, and I said to somebody, "What's that?" "Oh, they're teaching the course before you take the test." Well, it's like giving you the answers. She's not going to teach you what you don't need to know. She's going to teach you what's on the test. So you can do that if you want to skirt the system a little bit. I passed, but it was not. I didn't think I passed because in a freezer, what goes on top? The chicken, the beef, or the pork? Well, obviously the beef goes on the bottom, right? Because it drips the blood down. There's no blood dripping out of chicken. So stuff like that. It's a lot of common sense if you think about the stuff. But anyway, so those are did that answer your question?
Yes.
Okay. And you can just go online and look up.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure that I had to do it. You know what I mean?
Okay, and if you want, if you don't want to take the class, $27, you get the book, and you study the book before you take the class, and you'll pass.
Steve, I saw online you making the key lime pie ice cream pie. And
Yeah.
You had some candies that you broke up. Where'd you get the candies?
Where do I get the candies?
Those ones that were key lime.
What candies? Candies?
I don't even remember where I got them. It was so long ago. They were little key lime candies.
If you need a supplier for candies, there's a place, Bayside Candy. They're in Bayside, Queens, New York, and they sell large quantities of 1 million kinds of candies, and they're pretty good. I've never had a problem.
Hey, Mike, write that down for me. Bayside Candies. So I can make some candy ice cream here.
Okay, go
That's
ahead.
good.
Pushcarts. Is there any requirements doing it off-site? I mean, what kind of pushcart? Is there any kind of special
Okay,
requirements?
let's say this. There's a in this government of ours, there's a requirement for how you walk down the street and chew gum.
Right.
So the answer is yes and no. The health department will govern the cart because if they inspect it, which I've never heard of them doing, but if they did and there's little buggies crawling around, then they're not going to be happy. But a push cart is so basic, 2 wheels and a box with an umbrella.
Maybe another question would be, would you recommend powered or not powered, right?
I'm a power guy. Those things, they started with the plates. Remember the plates? Yeah. The galvanized
C. Nelson Company, the letter C, period, and then Nelson Manufacturing makes great dipping cabinets, freezer cabinets, and push carts. And they've got the cold plate ones, which are terrific. You plug it in overnight, and then those plates get very cold, and you can take it out for hours. And then they've got other ones that, if you've got a generator source, you can use those. And if you're buying a generator and you're going to be out in the public, buy a Honda. They are the absolute quietest little generators around because nobody wants to be next to a booth. If they're selling falafels, they don't want to be next to you with a noisy generator spewing gasoline at them. The Hondas, everybody tells me the Honda's the best.
Now, you said on another video that when you started out with just 6 flavors,
correct?
Right? What would you recommend for someone like us to start out in a store of how many flavors that you put out?
The book that I've been selling for years and years and years has about 22, 23 flavors in it, and those kept me going a year and a half. Not kept me going, those rocketed me to stardom in the first year and a half. And we rotated, but always had 6. I don't know, it just seemed like the right number to me. The number 1 flavor in the world is vanilla. I didn't sell vanilla ice cream till about 2 years ago because it was very hard to make outstanding world-class vanilla. But now I make vanilla. I found out how to make world-class vanilla. It's not hard. Nothing's hard. It's just putting it all together. But I think 6 flavors is pretty good. You know, you don't want to kill yourself. Chances are you're going to have a CB350 making a batch of 1.5 to 2 quarts per batch, gallons rather, per batch. So, you know, learn and just keep it living. You can have 40, but I think you'll be shooting yourself in the foot. So I thought 6 was good.
I agree with Jeff. The number of flavors has gone down. The Baskin-Robbins 31 flavors is just too confusing, and that's why I don't like those visual display cases, because people just sit there and stare and look at it and they can't decide, and they're holding up the line. Oh, the sample.
And what about those little spoons? You have 32 flavors out on display, and there's a bucket of little spoons. Can I try that one?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. Can I try that one? And what's the guy next in line going to do? Well, hell, I'm going to try him too.
And then the old geezer who's doing that then leaves because he's full.
And you know who else leaves? The people on the end of the line.
Yeah, they do. That's why you'll never see long term. There's never going to be a successful liquid nitrogen store or the pan ice cream. They both make good ice creams for what they are, but the average serving time is 6 minutes.
Even Cold Stone's going out.
So 10 customers times 6 minutes. No American's going to wait an hour for anything. Yeah. We just don't do it. We're not patient. We have no patience whatsoever. So those things, you know, they're a flash in the pan. Excuse the pun, but I like the Thai pan. I even thought of building them for a while until I ran into a salesman. He said, "Oh yeah, I've sold 700 of these, but I'm not ordering any more." I said, "Why not?" He said, "The market's saturated. It's already starting to fall away because," he said, "because it takes too long." Or the nitrogen ice cream. I'd love to see someone try to get insurance from Liberty Mutual with a 7-foot tall tank of nitrogen in my rented store.
Right, and a 6-year-old walking by playing with the stuff on the moon.
Yeah, banging it with his...
Now, you know, I don't, we see 200 people a night in 4 hours. It's really about 3 hours. So we don't give samples. We don't have the ice cream on display. We don't mix flavors. We don't have cones. There are no sundaes, no toppings of any kind. You get one flavor in a cup with a spoon, and that's it.
Doesn't he sound like Seinfeld? No soup for you.
You have so much repeat business, they already know what they want. They're not sitting there looking at a menu.
Well, we do have a huge wall with our flavors on it, made by me in the back, you know, on a computer. We want Almond Joy, make a nice Almond Joy sign, put it up with Velcro. And we have new people every night. About 40% every night are new people.
Wow.
Isn't that amazing? That is amazing. 40%.
I wouldn't have thought that.
Yeah, me either.
We're going to break for lunch. A couple more questions. Do you have a question, anybody?
You had a question in the back.
I can't remember.
It was an hour and a half ago.
Yeah. Oh,
yes,
if you have a food handler's license.
Certificate.
I'm sorry. And it's in another business's name, I can always transfer it over?
Yeah. No,
well,
I don't think
Texas,
so.
Yes.
What?
Not in Florida?
Oh, I'm sorry. You're probably right, because it's a general food handler's right. It's not. It's
in
not
in a lot of states, it's called a frozen dessert manufacturer's license. So check with your local authorities. One thing with dealing with, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
One thing with dealing with local authorities, talk to a local authority who's not in your town. If you're in Delray Beach, talk to someone in Tallahassee. Because if you don't like the answer you get, or you think it's wrong in your town, you're stuck with this person. But if you call up Tallahassee and ask the same question, you can get a hopefully a good answer,
or pretend you never spoke to him,
or pretend you never spoke to him. And then if you run into trouble with the guy in Delray Beach, you can say, well, what about doing it this way? Example, they come in and they say, okay, we want a dairy tile floor and dairy tile walls, and that's going to cost a fortune. So, and I call him Phil the inspector. So you start a diary right then and there. And Phil says, we want dairy tile walls, dairy tile floors. And he's saying it not because he's a bad guy, but because he's got a boss. And he knows if he does it the most sophisticated, expensive way he can think of, his boss will have no complaints. His whole job is stay out of the boss's radar. And so you call up someone like Jeff for me, and they say, hey, they want this dairy tile floor. It's $1 billion a square inch. What's the floor? Oh, it's concrete. Okay, ask them if you can paint the floor with a 2-stage Rust-Oleum epoxy paint for $87. You write that down. Phil comes in. Hey, Phil, I know you said you want this floor, but can I do the 2-stage epoxy like old people do? Old people in Florida. I got to stop saying this because I'm going to be one soon. They paint their floors. We paint their floors bright colors, but it seals off. It seals off. And he says, yeah, that's fine. Okay, August 9th, Phil said 2-stage epoxy floor is okay. What about those walls? Are they okay? Do I have to put up, tile, or can I put up white, smooth paneling? Oh yeah, we'll let you do paneling. You write it down. Phil's boss comes in for the final exam at the end of August, and says, "What's with this floor?" Phil approved it. Well, he's not going to go against the guy he taught. Okay, that's fine. These walls? Yeah, same thing. Phil approved it on this date. Okay, fine. That's how you get, you work with them. The old days, like my father used to say, when the inspector would come in, he'd say, give him $25 or throw him in the dumpster, your choice. And I'd say, Dad, come on, it's 1975, things have changed. He said, fine, give him $50.
Okay, last question.
Starting out a new business, I know that CB350 is a big seller. Could you start a business with the 200?
No, absolutely not. Because it's going to take the same amount of time, but it's making half the amount of ice cream. If you spend 20 hours, you wouldn't have enough ice cream for your store. And so think about that. It's not just, you can say, oh, I can do 20 hours. That gives me 4 hours to sleep. But what about opportunity cost? What about setting up the rest of the store? What about meeting and greeting the customers?
It's just not practical.
It's not practical
and
at all.
if you get a CB350 to start your business, that's 11 grand. If you keep it for 9 months or a year, put it on eBay, you'll get 10 grand for it in 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Because you've all been on eBay, I know this.
Yeah.
And you don't see Emery's on eBay. 20 minutes,
And
gone.
what you don't see, or you found out, is when one shows up and you call me up and they say, yeah, one of your machines went up 4 days ago. I go, sorry, it was gone in 2 hours, but eBay is smart enough to know in their analytics and their computers. There's nobody sitting around saying, boy, that Emery Thompson's really something. Their analytics say, this thing sells in 2 hours, but if we leave the advertisement up for 5 days, we'll get 400 hits looking at it. So they leave the ad up well after the machine is sold. They're not out there. And you tell me, what is more important in your business than my batch freezer? Is it the signs? Is it the hats? Maybe the shirts? Maybe the expensive Italian dipping cabinets? Do any of those make you any money? No, they cost you money. The only thing that makes you money is the machine. And if you go out and buy somebody's 40-year-old machine, yes, it's still running. It's an Emery Thompson, but it's 40 years old. And they have a brain in them. They know when it's July 3rd, and they'll break on July 3rd. And we've gone off to the beach because it's July 4th weekend. So, or a new one's going to take you 5 weeks.
The Rolls-Royce, the absolute best machine for all of us is the 24-quart machine. So there's no question you'll have one. But you don't have to start with one. I would rather buy a 6-quart than lease a 24-quart. That's my feeling. I want to own it. And you're not going to lose any money. You're renting it for a year for $1,000. Come on.
And I'd rather buy a 6-quart than not get into business.
Yeah, absolutely.
You don't know how many people I talk to. They say, I spoke to you a year and a half ago, and I'm still looking for a used machine. And I say, really? That's a year and a half that you missed out on making $500,000 a year. What a shame. What a bad business decision. And it happens all the time. Or very young people who say, oh, we're going to experiment for the next year, perfecting our formulas. Vanilla ice cream has got vanilla extract in it. That's it. If you want to go nuts, you throw some specks in, dust from the floor. And that's it. It's not rocket science. I mean, I can do it.
It ain't rocket science.
Well, let's have some lunch.
Okay.
It's right over there. Oh, boy, I got to get the ice out.
I'm the only one to use it. So we had to make, originally on your sheet, it called for me to make the fat Elvis in the middle. But I switched it. Why'd I do that?
You got a dentist appointment.
No.
Oh.
Right. We're going to be adding peanut butter to the machine, and that requires a few rinses. But now we don't need any rinses because I made the cream ice in the middle. So when I have to make ice cream, what day is today? Wednesday? I'll make ice cream Tuesday. And when I come in Tuesday, I'll have maybe 100 gallons to make. Maybe I'll have to make 8 flavors, six to 8 flavors. And I'll arrange them so that they all make sense. Now, what Steve said about going from chocolate to vanilla is not true. What determines the order of your production are the inclusions in your ice cream. Nuts, chips, fruit, rinds, all that stuff is what will determine your run. When we make rum raisin, last of the night, last of the day, because I don't want raisins winding their way into any other ice cream. Chips are okay until a customer comes up and says, what's that? And it's a chip in her lily white coconut ice cream. But a chip you can explain away. A raisin, they're suspicious of raisins. Yep. It looks like a mealy worm. No, it's a raisin.
No,
right.
it's got
Can I have
those.
another flavor? So it's not true about chocolate to vanilla. I can make, I'm sorry, Steve.
Take your time.
I can go from chocolate to vanilla, but I believe the reason is because of these machines. If I have a 24-quart machine, I'm left with an ounce of chocolate residue in my machine, chocolate liquid. Is an ounce compared to 24 quarts going to do anything? Nothing. You'll never notice it. And the inclusions, like if I were making chocolate ice cream, vanilla ice cream, of course you start with vanilla. Unless after the chocolate you're going into chocolate-based ice creams. Then you have to mix maybe chocolate then vanilla, maybe vanilla then chocolate. It doesn't matter. It's the inclusions.
Okay.
So just remember the inclusions will determine your production run. What are you laughing at? Okay, what's in the bag, Steve?
Cocoa.
And not the golden retriever. Could I have a pound of this?
Sure, let me do it.
Oh, thank you. Can you get to the scale?
I'll do it.
All right, I'm going to measure out the water. We're going to make something I've never made before. I have mathematically figured out the formula, and as Jeff has told you that when I do that, like he said, the first thing he tried was god-awful. So we'll hope for the best. At least I don't stick to the formula. If I need to, I can modify it as we go along. But someone told me this the other day. They said, what a great combination, Bordeaux wine and chocolate. You know, everybody loves chocolate and wine. So I have made wine sorbets before. It's very simple. You've got the recipe there, or did I give them out? It's all 2, 2, and 2. No, I didn't give them out. Just like Jeff's 3, 2, 1, this is 2, 2, 2. It's 2 750 milliliter bottles of a dry white wine. I only use Bordeaux the way I would use Bacardi. If I was making a Bacardi.
Isn't Bordeaux
rum
a
raisin.
red wine?
Did I? Yeah, I meant to say red.
Okay.
It's a red. But I'm using a lower priced red wine because after all, you're going to throw it in sugar and water, so you're not going to be sipping there checking the quality, though the yellowtail here from Australia is not too bad. So it's going to be 2 of these and then refill them with water. So that's easy. 2 pounds of sugar. And then we're going to see what 1 pound of the Benjamin Forbes chocolate tastes like. Chocolate is very subjective. My wife likes 85% cocoa, which tastes like chalk, and it'll stay in the fridge for 10 years because I'll never eat it. But if you put a bag of M&Ms in there, it's going to be gone in 2 seconds. So there is no right or wrong to chocolate. Jeff uses a lot of Gelati and Barry Callebaut. And I've always liked Benjamin P. Forbes. They are a chocolate company out of Cleveland that's over 100 years old, and they're a family business. There's another one out of Pennsylvania, I think it is, called Bensdorp, which is good. But it's all personal taste. There is no wrong chocolate. Hershey's is great. It's just everybody cringes when you say you're making Bordeaux wine and Hershey syrup. You know, they go, well, that sounds pretty crummy. But
excuse me?
Yeah, oh, I couldn't agree more. I love the Hershey syrup. So I need a bucket. Aren't you glad we don't have to do the cleanup on this? So, glug, 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 glug.
Then I'll fill one of those with water.
Great. Oh, hold on. I think I got my very expensive mixer in the...
It's here.
Oh, it's right here.
Yeah.
Wow. Now, there's 2 ways to go about buying things. There is the expensive way, and then there's Jeff's way. And I bought this before I thought it heard Jeff's way. This is a very expensive KitchenAid or something like that. Yeah, KitchenAid. Stirring stick or something like that. Fancy
An immersion.
name. Immersion blender. What a fancy name. Jeff went out and bought, he didn't even buy, he went out to his garage and got his electric drill. And then he went and got a stirring rod, you know, for mixing paint. It's a long rod like this that goes into a drill bit. He bought that for $3 at the paint supply store, and that's his immersion blender. He's going like that, and it does a better job than this. But this one cost a lot, so it must be good. I had a customer, can we just show this to the crowd? Can we see this camera? You see that? That's called 2 male plugs. That's like the lady the other day who called and asked why her CB350 wasn't working because it has a round plug and she was trying to put it into a square outlet for her clothes dryer. So I don't think we're going to get anywhere with that.
Why? How could you think that? This is where it belongs.
Okay.
Try that.
Good. I used to know how to turn it on. Okay. Yeah, we're cooking.
Now, the bad part is I bought that thing, too, after I saw it, Steve, and I have never used it. It's in this beautiful kit with all different attachments on it. What did we pay, like $100 for it?
No, of course not. I paid $250.
Yeah.
Wait, you think I'm smart?
Never used it.
Whoa.
I have a
Don't worry, it's factored into the formula. I know just how much went off into space. Oh, right. You got my water?
Excuse me?
Did we put the water in?
Allow me.
Thank you. I knew I was making this today, and yet I wear white. Yeah, smart. Is that the 2 of them?
1, it says.
Or 2.
2?
Yeah, 2, 2, 2. Easy, huh? And Jeff will come to your house, too, for $109 an hour and pour bottles of water into your mixture. Okay. Ready for the taste test?
Oh, boy.
Boy, now my book is going to look really chef-like.
Right.
It's got spills all over it.
Tastes good, right, Jeff?
Oh, that's vile.
Really?
It needs a ton of sugar.
I thought so. Good. I thought it was going to need sugar. He doesn't hold back, does he? Start with a pound?
I would do two.
I'd throw the bag in.
With the cardboard.
The face in his face, I thought that was going to be 5 pounds.
This is what you call experimenting. This is where the fun is.
Is that what you call it?
Absolutely. Let me know how much you're putting in.
Now I need your plug.
Okay. Here.
I don't know where it goes, though.
Oh.
Okay.
No, it goes to the box.
No, this is it. This is it.
That's it. No, that goes right down there. I'll get it.
Watch your head.
Yeah. Not a problem.
I never understood that. How can you watch your head?
I don't know.
Keep going up like that.
Only fifth grade math teachers can do that.
Just think after you guys do this a few times, you'll have all this figured out.
Oh, it's the idea.
After 390 some videos.
We keep trying.
All right, we'll
How much
start
is
with
that?
A little over a pound.
Okay. Go for it.
You can start that anytime.
I will. I got to plug it in first. You think we've rehearsed this?
Who's Laurel? Who's Hardy?
I know.
You know, we should have just done it in the machine.
We should have what?
Should have just dumped it in the machine. Let the machine mix it.
I know, yeah.
Why don't we do that? Why don't we do that?
Well, we're gone this far. It's kind of fun. Give it a try.
You think that's dissolved already?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a $200 immersion blender. Of course it's dissolved.
Oh, that's vile.
More?
No, yeah.
All right, another pound.
Yeah.
Let's go. We may not even get there today.
You know what I would add?
What?
I would add that to that.
It sounded good on paper to make chocolate and
Where did you
Bordeaux.
find this?
A customer wrote it in.
Someone who has a different brand machine.
No. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I sure do. $700 a gallon.
What are we looking for?
I hit it. She wanted to add some vanilla. Let's add. Let's just add another.
Add about 6 ounces of vanilla.
That much?
Oh yeah, you can't hurt with vanilla.
All right.
Besides, you don't pay for it. Here, about 6 ounces.
Hold on. Well, I'm trying to be exact here.
There you go.
All right. Don't worry. It's all natural. No, that's locked. That's locked away. I'm not stupid.
Although vanilla is going up in price.
Oh, it keeps going up. That's why I buy a all natural vanilla that's $109 a gallon as opposed to from Lockhead.
If you buy a little bit, it's $40. So is that like a commercial blender?
Hand blender.
Well, I want you to know this is a one-of-a-kind flavor. We're never going to make it again.
Well, you don't know. It could come out good.
Okay.
Okay, what? Oh,
Try it.
taste it?
Yes.
All right, Jeff, let's see if your 6 ounces work.
Now it's getting there.
Well, you mean we need more?
How much sugar we got?
4 pounds so far, and 4 pounds
Think
in.
about that raw cocoa.
That's not bad.
4 pounds in.
Let's put it in
No,
the
it's
machine
not
and
raw.
see-
It's ice cream cocoa.
Let's put it in the machine and see what happens when it starts to slosh around, all
All
right?
right. It's not raw cocoa. It's ice cream ready.
Okay.
Very well.
Oh, you can put it in just like that?
Yep. Jeff said so. It's not my fault. 4 pounds. 3.5 approximately. So like I said, it's a simple formula. 4, 2, and 2.
And 6.
And 6. Don't forget the vanilla. And I suggest you go buy more McCormick at the supermarket. It's a lot cheaper. Whoa. Yeah, a little bit. Okay. Thanks. What's that for?
Got all that sugar. Look, all that sugar.
That's nothing. That's nothing. It's going to come out to a tablespoon.
Every little bit helps.
Maybe, maybe not.
Look at the mess here.
Yeah, it's really cool. No, it makes us look like we're
That's true. We're real
here.
chefs.
Yeah, real chefs. All right, so I'm going to put this for sorbet, sorbetto. Start. All right. Questions? No?
Questions. Yeah, what the hell is that stuff?
So should we add the 6 ounces of vanilla into the recipe?
We'll see how it tastes.
Yeah.
This will never be made again.
You may just want to tear that recipe up. Don't slip on the cocoa powder. What do you think?
I don't want to tell you what I would add.
What?
Bourbon.
I would add a quart of ice cream mix.
Ah, okay, next time.
Okay.
I was trying to see if I could make it as a sorbet.
What's that?
I was trying to make it as a sorbet.
I know, but if you made it as a sherbet, no big deal.
Okay. I don't think we have room in there.
No? No.
You still want to add it?
I would.
A quart?
I would.
Let's do it.
You sure?
Yeah, why not?
It's yours.
We got nothing to lose.
Okay. And then I'll show them my great 2 wine bottle trick.
Okay.
Right in here.
And you know what will happen when this finally works out? After Jeff,
It'll be great. We won't be able to replicate it.
no, we'll be able to replicate it, but Jeff will be selling it at Jeff will be selling it in his store, and with some kind of story about, oh yes, I was sitting around one night and I thought, wouldn't it be great to make an ice cream with Bordeaux wine and.
All right.
So what was it? Hey, Mike.
Yes.
If you'll write down, please, total sugar is 4 pounds, 1 quart of ice cream mix, 6 ounces of vanilla.
So the 2 wine bottle trick.
And another note, maybe try cutting back the cocoa in half. Thank you.
Really? Oh, for more wine flavor and less chocolate?
Yeah. Which did you get? What was the taste?
More chocolate.
It was too chocolate?
Not too chocolate. You can't be too chocolate.
Okay. You want to add more?
More what?
Chocolate?
No.
Less wine?
No, more wine.
More wine.
Yeah. I mean, maybe, so in other words, less chocolate, right?
Yes. Okay. I got you. What's the 2 wine bottle trick? Do you need a chill? You need me to help on this? No, you're not.
Okay, take the dollar out without moving the bottles.
Not me.
Come on, you can do it.
No, I'm not. You'll make me clean up.
No.
Don't have. I got to get out of this. Don't have glass in your ice cream room. It's not safe.
Take the dollar out without moving the wine bottles.
All right. Can I get a crane?
Want to see how it's done?
Yes.
Lift it up.
No,
You can't touch the wine bottles. Can't touch them.
Oh, wait a minute. I got it. Say it again. What am I supposed to do?
Remove the dollar without touching the bottles.
Without touching the bottles?
Yeah.
No,
can't do it.
You can do it, Steve. You can do it. You created
Watch.
all this.
Watch. I haven't done this in 20 years.
Pick it up flat. Pull it up.
Oh.
Ah.
Oh.
We still didn't fall on the floor.
I think it's because it was wet. I know it's dry wine bottles.
Oh, that was good.
Good try. Can I borrow that for a minute? I'll give that back. Anybody? We have been compared at times to Abbott and Costello. And Abbott and Costello did this routine where Costello, the fat guy, is dealing with this huge muscular person. He says, I'll bet you $1 you can't punch me in the face. And they go back and forth. Yes, I can. No, I can't. So Costello puts the door thing down like that. And of course, he closes the door. And he says, okay, punch me in the face. And with that, the guy goes right through the door. So it was funny when they did it.
Yeah. Now this is that same dollar that Steve had. Jerry, count with me. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we'll take them and fold them up real small. I don't know if we can do it that small, but we'll give it a shot. And then let's see what happens. Oh!
Hey. Or he gave us something to drink, we're high.
I was watching his hands. I didn't see any hidden dollar.
No, I didn't see any. That was awesome.
What do you want to do now?
Did that trick just cost you $1?
Yeah. I normally borrow the $1.
Oh, even better.
That was good. Yeah.
No. You have no questions.
Okay, I have another trick.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Another trick.
We got like 3 minutes, right?
The 2 wine corks that we just pulled out, it's the wine cork trick. Jerry, watch. 2 wine corks. Gonna put one here and one here. Now the object is to take them from here and put them here. Now I'm going to do it very slowly, Jerry. Very slowly. From here
Oh, that's nice.
to there. Piece of cake.
You
A
can
mere
do it,
child
Jerry.
of 5 can do it. A mere child of 5 can do it. I'll do it again, very slow.
It was a good try, though.
Very slowly.
Check the position. Yes. Okay. Good.
Very slowly. Watch carefully.
He lets one rest while he grabs the other one. He doesn't try to.
You can't miss. She knows the answer to everything.
No, I don't.
What's the population of Burma?
I don't know, but 7 million people in the whole world. We could each have 600 acres of land if we just shared. I don't know why I know that. But
Who's got Siri? We can ask.
I don't get it.
It's pretty good. Pretty good. Anybody want to try it?
You did it? I missed it. Oh, okay. You have to
I don't think I can do it again, but.
Okay. But that was awesome.
I'll go even slower than over there.
That was nice.
Got it?
Yeah.
No, you don't want to do it.
He's like, yeah, we're good.
Come on, I love to make a fool of you.
You can do it. I already had my turn this morning.
She's amazing.
I know she is, and I haven't heard the answer to the population of Burma yet.
Oh, let's just Google that sucker. Hold on. Population
Is it
of
still
Burma.
called Burma?
Just ask Siri.
No, it's
They
not.
changed it.
I don't know what it is now. Yeah, you're thinking the old Burma shape.
No, they changed the name of that country, I think, from Burma.
Was it? Yeah, I don't know. So that would mean the population of Burma is 0.
Right.
Because
As of
Burma
now.
doesn't exist anymore. It was a trick question. Don't try to answer it.
Well, it's called Myanmar.
Myanmar. That's right, Myanmar.
Okay.
53.37 million.
You were close.
Yeah.
Is that more or less than the state of Texas?
I have no idea. Let me Google that.
No.
Yeah, why do I have to think? I can Google.
I think we're losing our
got other things
audience.
to worry about.
Who wants a souvenir?
What's one of the happiest places on earth?
This room right now.
Other than Disney?
You want to start
Bhutan.
flavor?
Huh?
You want to start doing your flavor?
Oh, okay. Why are we going to be lengthy?
Well, just keep them occupied.
Okay. Okay.
And then this is going to be a while.
Okay, we're multitasking right now. We're going to multitask right now. While this is being made, I'm going to start because I can't wait to get to my root canal. So we're going to make something I've never made. I'm not even sure the ingredients, but we'll give it a shot. Remember, it's all like soup. If you put in great chicken, great rice, great celery, great carrots, you got to have great soup. Maybe add a little salt, little pepper, whatever, but you're going to have great soup. So that's what we'll do. Elvis was always famous for eating banana and peanut butter sandwiches. So I thought, let's make Fat Elvis out of, Steve, I need more mix.
Coming up.
Okay. We'll make Fat Elvis with peanut butter. Once again, did I buy Schmiff or Jif? We'll use some Hershey's syrup.
We're winding down.
If you can ever find it, Hershey's Special Dark. It's extraordinary. It's not like Hershey's syrup. It's very hard to find and extraordinary. Hershey's Special Dark. So when I was driving over this morning, I thought, and I have some banana flavor because ripe bananas are out of the question. When I was driving over this morning, I thought, to make this, because I've never made it, let's put the mix in the machine. So we'll add 5 quarts of mix to the machine. And then I thought, instead of just Fat Elvis, we'll make chocolate Fat Elvis. I don't know why. 5 quarts. Yeah, that's what I thought. Chocolate Fat Elvis. Where are we going? 6, 4, 6. If it's no good, oh well. You had enough anyway. Tell her. Tell her why we're not going to use fresh fruit. What? Correct. Fresh fruit, the bananas you get today, and if you want to make this flavor next month, well, I can't get ripe fruit anymore, or it's too ripe, or it's not ripe enough. Cherries are too tart, too sweet. Strawberries too small, too big, too small. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll start with 5 quarts of mix. You notice there's never anything under those spouts when he works? 5 quarts of mix. And then I thought, driving over, let's recreate chocolate milk, chocolate mix, before we start adding the other stuff. So we'll have our base of chocolate. So I'll add an amount of this. You know where this is going, right? We'll add just about the whole container. And let's see how strong that is, because that'll determine We want the taste of peanut butter, the taste of banana, and the taste of chocolate. Tough thing to get those three together. So let's see if we have a good chocolate base to start with. And if it's too chocolatey, then we know we have to add more of the other stuff to make it an equal triad of flavors. That's a mellow chocolate, which I think will be good. And now peanut butter. Always the killer. How much peanut butter do you add? Crunchy. You're writing this down? I've never done this before.
That's okay.
But when I left the store last night, Danny said to me, listen, if it's good, bring some home. I said, I won't be able to. He said, will you make it at the store if it's good? So that's what this is. If this is good here, it'll be on my menu board next week. So we'll add some peanut butter. Now this would be a good candidate for the paint mixer in a bowl, but I didn't bring it. You don't have a paint mixer, do you, with a drip?
Sorry, no. Yeah. Probably not, but I can show you what's inside. I will.
All right. This is Hartley's, Hartleys. It's pretty good stuff. It's Hartley's banana. They use this to make snow cones, to put flavor on top of snow cones and stuff. It's all right. And let's add about, the hell is this? It's a lot, huh? And we're not done yet.
But wait, there's more.
There's more. Oh, wait, there's more. Okay, now, of course, we try it. This is crazy. I was about to say we get paid for this, but we don't.
No, we don't. How's the color?
Brown.
Brown.
How's Elvis taste? He's still alive.
See, I'm not the only one.
Got it.
Steve, how long it take to clean that peanut butter?
What? What do you give? Oh, you want to taste it?
To clean the peanut butter out? Me? No time at all. Someone else? Maybe 10 minutes.
So would it be easier to blend it
Now that's
before we
good.
mix it?
Yeah.
So the mixer.
Liquory. Very liquory. That's good.
Okay.
Whiny. Whiny.
Yeah, I know I am.
You know?
Okay, I think we'll let it roll.
I didn't see you add sugar.
Sugar? No. There's enough sugar in here, in the peanut butter. What else did we add? Chocolate. the mix.
Pretty.
Yeah, he says it works.
So this will be chocolate fat Elvis. Chocolate fat Elvis.
Yeah.
What a business this is. Imagine you're at Microsoft and you're in your cubicle and you're making those flat boards, what do they call them, the processor boards, and you say, oh, let's try this. I don't think so, but here you can do it. And if you think about it, everything since vanilla is an invention. You know, vanilla was around when, you know, that's an orchid. You know, vanilla comes from orchids, the orchid plant. So vanilla was the first flavor. Everything else is an offshoot, an experiment off of vanilla.
Here we go.
Look at the color of that. Wow.
Looks nice.
Look at the texture.
Yeah.
Smooth. This is smooth. Boy, this is good. Don't think about what it looks like.
Just think about what it tastes like. Okay? Ready to try it?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Beautiful. Oh, yep, I got it. Yeah, beautiful, I got it.
Okay, let's give it a taste.
Call this emoji.
What?
Emoji.
Yes. The way do you taste the texture and the flavor? I think it's pretty good, actually.
Almost looks like a chocolate.
I can't believe that
Does look like a mousse.
I can't believe that the formula didn't call for sugar.
It did. But we added more.
No,
We
there was
doubled the sugar.
There was no sugar on the paper.
Looks like pudding.
Yes, and whether you taste the texture, smooth.
2 pounds of cane sugar, which we up to 4.
4, right.
If you tried it,
No. I don't drink.
at all?
No.
Oh, you want to even try it?
No. No. That's why I have taste testers.
You gotta like red wine to like.
You gotta really like it.
If it doesn't kill them, then I'll sell it.
The guinea pigs that we are.
I have a portion.
A little
sir.
teeny taste. Maybe a tad bit more. Ooh, you're good. Thank you.
Yeah, it's definitely a red wine ice cream or sorbet.
Small amount for me as well.
Can I have a larger amount for Paula? Wow, we went through them all.
No, I got it.
Perfect.
We'll have to take a vote on this.
Thank you.
Come on, man. I thought you didn't drink,
No, it's not bad. If you appreciate what it is, it's good. If you eat it expecting, chocolate ice cream, it's not good. But it's definitely a niche, You can taste the wine.
Yeah?
I'm going to tell you about that.
Okay.
If you approach it as sweet chocolate ice cream or whatever, you're not going to like it. But I was just talking to Abdul, and he said, And he's right. If you appreciate what you're eating, it's like a niche. You know, it's a specialty thing, and it's a wine ice.
Yeah, it was a Merlot.
Yeah. I don't think it's bad at all.
Good. What are you laughing at?
It's wine.
Chocolate wine.
Chocolate wine, that's right.
Oh, God.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I can get drunk.
What do you think?
I'm thinking if you topped it with some black cherries.
Yeah.
Yes,
yeah.
on top. Wouldn't that be nice? Some of those cut up cherries.
Yeah.
Well, I like wine, so.
Yeah, it's definitely a winey ice cream.
I like the wine.
And I kind of like it.
You like the wine.
That's what I said.
I like the wine better than the
Who's that for
But
Mike?
you can't.
Oh, I know, right?
But you can't sell bitch ice cream. Here, you like the bitch. Here.
So you're so joyful, right? Yeah, that's what I told my husband. I like it better when I'm chunkier. You live longer.
Of what?
She's joyful. Chunkier, joyful. Did Mike get any?
I'm taking it into him now. Oh.
This way, thank
So
you.
would this be something you would sell at your store?
Well, probably not. Because if I didn't have all the adult flavors I have, I would add that. But with all the other ones, the real popular ones, Bailey's, Kahlua, Amaretto, those are popular. This probably wouldn't sell. And it's not a sweet ice cream.
Mango? I mean,
Oh, yeah.
No. I do make champagne, and I make blueberry wine ice cream. I make chocolate Cabernet. Chocolate Fat Elvis. Does he want this? No, right? Steve, put away? Okay. Yeah.
Do I need to wash it?
No. You eat peanut butter? Take this home. I didn't use it all. There's a half a jar in there. You have room for one more? Okay.
So the other week I was in South Georgia.
South where?
South Georgia.
South Florida. Oh, South Georgia.
Traveled and went to fly each and they had a big presentation. They had all sorts of candies, things like that. Watching you pack the peaches. They had a guy that was making peach ice cream. But what was interesting was it had chunks inside the ice cream. And I was thinking, could that really be peaches or is it some sort of flavor texture item?
Probably peaches.
How would you do that?
Peach ice cream is the hardest ice cream to make in the whole world. It's the hardest flavor. Very subtle.
And that's why I was thinking they use peach flavoring and some sort of...
Well, could be.
Are we getting you parts tonight?
What?
You're getting parts tonight?
Just a gasket. I can get it next time. Doesn't matter.
No.
Whatever you want.
Just one, two?
Just this. Just one.
Okay.
Oh.
I know it's not a great image, but that was the ice cream, and it was just little pink flakes all throughout the ice cream.
Pink. Well, it could have been the skin. The peaches, skin on the peaches.
Yeah, just blended it up, just
Sure.
just to give it texture.
Well, it probably didn't want to peel them first.
Right.
You know, that would be a pain, peeling peaches.
Right.
Hang on. I'm going to do this now. Okay, Fat Elvis. Fat Elvis.
Fat Elvis?
Yeah, want some?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, Fat Elvis.
Oh, wait, I got the file. Okay, that's good. Yeah, I know it. Oh, file.
My goodness.
Fat Elvis, huh?
That teacher that you just want to, you're that teacher that you want to get.
I'm working now.
You see? I love him. I love him.
Here.
Thank you. He wants me to go away. He's like, let me feed her so she can go away.
Not me. Not me.
Thank you. Thank you.
You want the corks?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you do the trick?
What kind of trick is that,
They're pretty smart.
Want to do my root canal instead of me? Go there and say you're me?
Mm-mm.
I'll think of you tomorrow when it's all over.
When you're all drugged up.
Yeah, no drugs.
So did you end up using that whole jar of peanut butter?
No, no.
Ooh, thank you.
Oh my God. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
You were waiting for that all day when you saw there was that. You're waiting all day to come up and say, thank you very
I got under your
much.
skin somehow today.
Nah, you're never under my skin.
Are you looking at how many scoops you have? 96.
Yeah. You could sell that.
So that was
We should sell it?
You could sell it, yeah.
Well,
72 ounces.
You might want to give vanilla wafers on the side to sort of dip with.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't just.
Huh? Yeah, it should have been more banana or less peanut butter.
Little. I just want little.
Take it, take it, take it. Done.
I'll take that one. Give him what he wants.
Right there, just that. That's it. That's good. It worked perfect. No liquor, no alcohol on this one, right?
None.
Thank you, sir.
Oh,
Mike just sits back there all day and they have an ice cream.
I never actually put peanut butter in the machine. I thought it would be too sticky to clean out. Put peanut butter in the machine, I never did it.
Well, listen, if it's your last flavor, you got to disassemble it anyway.
Yeah. I mean, even if it's your first, when I do my peanut butter, I usually wait for it to come out the swirl in there. I don't even feel
If you had to do it, there's a trick. Use Jeff.
Fat Elvis.
Jeff. Jeff is not as good as other peanut butters.
Yeah.
It's got more oil in it. Doesn't stick as much. It's like a 100-year-old trick. And I'm not 100. I'm not 100.
Teach me all the tricks. I love soaking up.
Want one more?
Soaking up.
Oh, hold it.
This is good. It's real good.
This is actually good.
Mm-hmm. Oh, very good. Who's that for?
Thank you.
Yum. Excellent.
It's all right. It's soup, Steve. You put good ingredients. It's got to be okay.
Fat Elvis.
Fat Elvis.
Basic. Yeah, I don't really taste no banana.
Yeah.
I would try it with regular banana. I would try it with real bananas. You could put a, I would stuff from real bananas.
Your store. Do what you want.
Yeah.
It goes down easy.
Cause that
It's the first bowl of ice cream I've eaten.
I know.
That's how good it is.
Think about this one. Make it like you did, but then
what was that
drizzle a
banana?
little chocolate on the top.
Steve, is that banana like
No toppings.
Daisy or something?
No, I'm talking about.
Yeah, it was here. So it was here.
In the cabinet.
No toppings. We don't have cabinets. We don't have cabinets.
You call that a topping if you're putting it on
This
top
is the
of
stuff they use for
If it was on the bottom, I'd call it a bottom.
Really?
yeah, snow cone. This stuff they put on
Hardly?
top. Yeah, they sell it at Restaurant Depot.
Wow. There you go.
Now, the point is, some people want more banana, some people want
I would
more
like
chocolate,
less
some people want less peanut
And I'd
butter.
like
Some,
pieces of it.
that's why you'll have a store. You do, it's art. And this is my first time. I'll make it differently next time, but I think it's a winner.
These flavors are very sweet.
Why don't I do toppings in the store? No sundaes, no toppings. Why?
Less inventory.
Well, actually, I don't need to tell you. The reason is 200 people a night align toppings. And here's another thing. We charge $6. With toppings, you're going to have to charge a little more, don't you think? You know, maybe hot fudge would be $8. It's not worth $8. To me, if I'm going out for ice cream, $6 is the most I'm ever going to pay. We have a Haagen-Dazs store not far from us at all, a freestanding Haagen-Dazs store, and they get $7.50 for the same thing I get $6 for. And I don't think any ice cream, Haagen-Dazs is great ice cream. I just don't think it's worth it. People have a preconceived notion when they're going in for ice cream. The preconceived notion is $5, 10 for a couple. That's the notion that they have subliminally in the back of their mind. More George and Martha go out, he knows he's pulling a $10 bill out of his wallet for ice cream, and that's all he's going to spend. But if you start with toppings, First of all, the expense, then you got to go to $7, maybe $8. Now he's going to spend $16, which equates to a $20 coming out. I don't think they'll be back. The other thing is time. You know, we got to get them moving. 200 people a night, we got to get them moving. And although they can, there's a sign right by the counter, it says, order here, pay here, sit down. And that's what we need. We need them to order it, pay for it, and go sit down. No choices. The only choice they have is, do I get a small or a regular? $6, $8. That's their choice. You know, the whole business I want to keep simple. The flavors, the atmosphere, everything I want to be simple. What was your question?
As far as the, you know, like Florida has a lot of tourists, stuff like that. So some people were saying like it's better to use like tap water or alkaline water. I mean spring water or alkaline water as opposed to tap water.
Steve, tell us about using spring water or tap water in Florida for all your goods here. You're making ice cream. He wants to know which.
Is it better to use spring water or alkaline water as opposed to tap water?
I don't have a simple answer for anything.
Oh, you made all
If you're
that?
up here in Brooksville, Florida, and you grew up here, you're so used to this horrid water that you don't know it's horrible. Because it is. It's awful. It's like liquid rock. So I don't drink it. We have the bottles. But if I was going to sell Italian ice, and there hasn't been a tourist in Brooksville in 200 years, we're not a tourist stop, I would make my Italian ice out of tap water. If I go down to Miami, where everybody is from New York, and they know what good water is, I would filter the water in Miami to make it more like New York. Because this stuff about you can't make bread with the water down here and you can't make pizza is absolutely true. It's got such a high mineral content that it's absolutely awful. So it comes down to who your market is.
So just a filter would be sufficient enough. You don't have to buy spring water or anything like that.
No, I had a guy though in the Miami area who was bringing down tractor trailers full of New York water to make his pizzas. And then he realized the clientele just didn't know the difference, so he said, oh, the heck with it.
Now they do it here for bagels.
Yeah.
They do bring water down for bagels.
Because the stuff just doesn't rise properly. Yeah.
Right.
But see, the water in the Italian ice is being so overpowered by the sugar and the flavor that you're never going to notice.
Water's bad.
Water's terrible.
Yeah, I mean.
Did you ever filter water?
Yeah, it depends on where you live. Sometimes, like you can live in a certain area and you get this taste like the
Chlorine or anything like that.
Chlorine. Yeah, it just tastes so. So I started just going to little machines, or I just bought a filter tank for my sink, the little purifier.
Yeah.
I use that water instead. So it's the same. Just I purify the water, but.
Let me just make one quick announcement.
Okay.
I have to leave because I can't wait to get to my root canal. So if you need to contact me, I'll answer any questions you have. It's right here. xhippie@aol.com, and it's EE at the end. And anything you want to know, I'll answer anytime. And I'll answer it within a few hours. Yeah, you can get the book, you can get the kit, you can take the course, you can hire me. So yeah, anything. Just contact me. I'll get right back to you.
Thank you, sir.
And how about a big hand for Steve
and
too?
for Jeff. Thank you. Good job. Happy root canal.
Oh, please.
Jeff, you grew on us. Well, me anyway. Thank you.
Like mold?
You said it. I was gonna say something gentle.
Thank you. I know you want to leave. I got one quickie. What did you do before you did this?
FBI, CIA.
I was the bulk of my life I was photographer, portrait photographer.
Creative. And yet you don't like kids.
I hate kids. No, you're right. I don't like kids.
Thank you.
I think you got it right the first time. You hate kids.
Microphone.
I know my microphone.
Make sure, what's the name of the guy? Make sure you edit that out.
So thanks. And now Steve's going to take you on a you tell
Magical
him.
Misery Tour.
Yeah. And I've never seen the factory floor so beautifully clean and neat.
Oh, thank you. And it's going to be changing even more. We're moving everything. Since we got the new place up the street, we've got more room.
This guy is so wealthy.
Well, the company's been around for what, 100 years?
115.
115, I apologize.
That week.